Yo, Untitled Studios back at you with another Chatterbox. Oh, and Dave caught doing just as I went live. Excellent.
Yeah, good timing.
I
Sorry.
was just like, let's see what happens and go for it. And then you're like, just clicked in right at the second it went live.
Nice.
So yeah, Chatterbox number 24. This is the second worst disaster to make landfall in the U.S. today. Because if nothing else, make fun of thousands of lives, millions of lives probably being ruined. That's always a way to go.
Yeah, I'm sure they get the joke, dude.
Eventually. I hope so. I sent somebody the video "Rock You Like a Hurricane."
God damn, dude.
They were talking about how the worst of it's going to go over their area, and I was just like, duck and cover, man.
Yeah. That's pretty disastrous shit, man.
I feel so
But
bad
if you can't laugh at that, what can you laugh at,
My dick in the mirror? I don't know. So I sent an invite to Dolphin Radio. I don't know if he was just so drunk he'll not remember at all that I offered to invite him or not. But so if he jumps on, don't be shocked. I doubt he will, because he, like I said, when I made that offer, he was pretty fucking wasted. Which, as far as I know, is pretty much every time I've seen him live online.
So. Yeah, no expectations, dude. We'll see what happens.
And then I'm not sure if Michael's going to join or not. But we all know every Muslim is evil.
This is true. They're all terrorists. Reformation is impossible.
Not a good one in the lot of them. So if Mike doesn't show up after that, he's definitely just not going to show up, boys and girls. Right. Sorry.
He's off loving Muslims somewhere. We know. We understand.
Yep, pretty much. He's probably grooming the goats.
Mm-hmm. Yes, making the animals unclean.
Well, I mean, you got to comb their hair, put a little lipstick on them. Mm-hmm. You wanna do it up real nice for the fellas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, indeed.
I love that, because if anybody who's like titchy about that kind of bullshit listens, they'll be like, they have no idea we're joking.
Right.
Just immediately click off, and it's great, because the rest of this would have been way more offensive. So better you're out there.
We're just getting warmed up, dude.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. Give it time.
Yeah. Report us. We need to be stopped. Us and our legion of fans.
Yeah. Hold on. Sorry. I got to show this to you. This just caught my eye because I was retweeting the hangout from Untitled Studios Twitter to my Twitter. And let's see. Let me get my screen share going. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Never argue with children. A little girl was talking to her teacher about whales. The teacher said it was physically impossible for a whale to swallow a human, because even though it was a very large mammal, its throat was very small. The little girl stated that Jonah was swallowed by a whale. Irritated, the teacher reiterated that a whale could not swallow a human. It was physically impossible. The little girl said, "When I get to heaven, I will ask Jonah." The teacher asked, "What if Jonah went to hell?" The little girl replied, "Then you ask him."
Damn.
It's like, that's cute and all, but the teacher was still right. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, but the teacher's still right. I mean, it's conceivable that a killer whale could swallow a human in pieces, and it's got the teeth to do it, so it works for me. Oh man, what was it? So there was an actual news story that the Pope bumped his head and hurt his left eye, but he's okay, according to the Vatican.
Wow.
They made the news, man. Motherfucker has a tiny little bruise on his face, and they're like, shit. Don't worry, folks. The Pope's still alive. I hope so. That ain't a damn...
Yeah. Are they going to call it a miracle that he lived through it so they can canonize him after his death? He survived this.
Yeah, really.
It was a miracle.
Wait. Oh, no, he's joking. Okay, God damn it. The Pope said I was punched. I'm fine. The Pope joked as he left a house in the poor neighborhood of San Francisco on the last day of his trip to Colombia. So San Francisco and Colombia, not California.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, the bastard. I just saw that he was punched, and I was like, holy shit. I don't know. I got froze, so if I drop out, that's my fault.
All right. You'd think God would have given him a heads up on that.
You can think, man. I mean, they're bros, right?
Yeah. You'd think you'd see it coming.
Oh, I got 2 hurricane-related stories that are kind of fucked up, and I'm gonna show them in order. And the first one is gonna make you angry, but if you think about it after a bit, you probably won't be as upset.
All right.
So this is kind of interesting. And the second one seems like it's a really nice story. Right up until I don't know what's going on with my computer. Everything keeps wanting to freeze.
Yeah, mine was taking its time starting up too. Like as I was getting everything else ready, and I came back and I'm like, "What the fuck? This thing's still starting up."
I'm gonna see if I close out a couple more windows here. This is weird. I'm not sure what this is going on here, so I'm gonna close a couple things that might be trying to load shit. All right, usually my computer is not this slow, so it's just weird that it's suddenly having an issue.
So did you enjoy the first week of the NFL season?
I'm sure you know it was the first week of the NFL season.
Yeah, this was the first Sunday. They played Thursday night, obviously. The Patriots got blown out by the fucking Chiefs, which is crazy. But yeah, it's the first Sunday of the regular season.
The engines drink much firewater?
Yeah.
Crazy drunk, is that why they won?
Must be, dude. They're all Chiefs somehow. I don't know how that works, but they're all Chiefs, all 53 of them.
All 53 of them? Wow, that's a big fucking tribe, man.
Oh.
Well, and
they're all Chiefs, so.
Well, actually, I know a girl, I work with a girl who's pro-native, and one of the things that she learned growing up was you're not allowed to date anyone in the tribe.
Oh, wow.
Her parents were like, you can't date anyone in the tribe, and she's like, why? And they're like, because you're probably related in some way.
Right.
Just
Jesus.
Kind of one of those like fucked up moments where you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. Yeah, my computer's completely frozen. Like, so the Hangout's still going, but I can't fucking do shit.
That's crazy. All right. You need me to do anything? Or can I do anything?
I don't think there's anything you can do. We're just going to have to bullshit. I just won't be able to screen share anything.
Hey, no worries. Although, again, I like to make a prediction since it's always the overreaction after the first week of the season. I think the Lions are going to go 16-0 and win the Super Bowl. I just want to throw that out there.
Sure. Absolutely, man.
Yes, absolutely.
They fucked up the Christians, right?
That's my team, sadly, but they actually beat the Cardinals today. So,
well, there you go. They're already one closer to 16-0.
Yeah. Since I'm in Arizona, I actually got to watch the game. Pretty good.
Let's see if I can get the task manager to tell me what the fuck is going on here. Okay, I need to enter my Firefox. Okay, there we go. Firefox was just, I guess, had been open too long or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was weird, man. Everything on my fucking screen just froze. Just like, guess what, man? All those stories you looked up that were like interesting and shit. Fuck you.
None of that.
All right. So here we go. Let's see if I can do it up this time. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Red Cross takes hot meals from hands of hurricane victims. So apparently what happened was Lindsey Scott and stuff, pardon me. They were trying to bring 400 warm hamburgers to evacuees.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Red Cross is like, look, they already had a sandwich. They can't have the burgers or something like that. So apparently one sandwich in 24 hours is enough.
Jesus, dude.
And so then the Red Cross proceeded to try and load the burgers into an ice chest, essentially to take them away.
Wow.
They said the Red Cross were not there. So now here's the thing. So I am clearly the people who were representing the Red Cross there were fucking abhorrent. They were rude. They were like yelling at the people, telling them to fucking, they needed to leave. Weird shit like that. But on the other hand, well, here's the thing. So it seems really shitty. But on the other hand, when it comes to a disaster like this, at a certain point, there's like an overload of volunteers and people are just basically getting in everybody's fucking way. Especially people who aren't experienced at helping in a disaster. And so they mean well, but they might not necessarily know what's going on. So potentially there might be another group of people somewhere else that really needed that food more who hadn't had anything.
Right.
And Red Cross is trying to take it there. That's possible. I'm just giving them like the benefit of the doubt here. I'm not making any judgment calls. I mean, clearly the way they handled it, they were super rude. They were like, what is it? I'm trying to find out what the quote was. I can't. Supplies and donations were made by our local community members and the Sky Hope Network, not the Red Cross. And Red Cross wanted them all shipped to their warehouse for processing and distribution. Apparently, they don't do local distribution, which is weird.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these charities.
I think maybe that was probably Red Cross crossing the line.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they can reach out to the people that are there, and it's a hot meal that's ready right now. That really isn't going to... You can't take that to a warehouse to process and ship.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ready to go and fucking... Yeah, that's generally a good problem to have if you're overfeeding the fucking... You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not the worst thing that can happen. Fucking bringing the warm food that's already ready to eat back to a fucking warehouse.
Yeah, it's really strange. So it makes me kind of wonder, like, I hope this gets investigated at some point.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if those people even were with the Red Cross. Or because there's a lot of people that take advantage of this kind of situation and they might have just had the truck.
Yeah, that's true. Kind of forget about that. There are people that fucking come in and take advantage of fuckers when they're down.
Yeah, so like my mom... oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, that's pretty much what I was going to say. They're fucking... I don't know how you do that as a human being, but...
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
One of the things my mom is helping to do is they're basically helping to set up a system where people can plug in data about where people are located that need rescue. And it essentially collates all the information and makes it... and then sets up a system that they can verify it and get the exact latitude and longitude of somebody who needs rescue. And then make sure right before anybody goes out to double check just to see if they can confirm it.
No, gotcha.
So
or to see if they've already been rescued or something.
Exactly.
Right.
And so there's already a few people who are like con artists who are setting up websites that look the same with similar names and similar like pictures and stuff like that in order to try to scam people out of money.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
How fucking horrible. I'm sorry, but that just blows my mind, dude.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's so fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things that's like, that is a really, really good use of a lot of people's time to help out. Because essentially it's a lot of people who are used to processing data from whatever their jobs are. They work just doing data on a daily basis anyway. So when it comes to like all this information that needed to be processed for Harvey, they were like, oh, yeah, we fucking know this. Let's do it.
Right.
So a lot of them just donated hours of their time.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of that shit can be done, you don't have to actually be there, right? I mean...
Yeah, no, exactly. It's literally people go to a website, plug in information, or call a number and give information, and then these people just plug it into a database that makes it available to the rescue teams.
Yeah.
And it's all done via the internet. So literally, like, people from all over the world can use it, and they're trying to set the system up so that it can easily be, anybody can basically take the framework and set another one up for any other disaster.
Yeah,
and
that's
super,
good.
super quick and like ready to go. So they can set it up for Irma, or so if the people in India, I guess there was an earthquake. Oh, there was a tidal wave in India or some flooding in India, I think, or another hurricane hit India or something like that. So like the Indian people can use it. Potentially there's a tsunami headed toward Hawaii from an earthquake in Mexico.
All right.
That might be a situation where they could use it. So it basically can just be copied and used again and again and again. And they're just refining the system.
Right on.
And like my mom's just a small cog in that. She's not one of the people who are actually making the whole thing work. She's just typing in data and shit.
Right. Just helping out where she can. Yeah. Fuck yeah. That's awesome.
Well,
yeah.
she's really good at
one.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I saw one, I can't remember who, somebody had made a video about the, disaster relief, and they put a link to the Red Cross. Somebody in the comments had said something about how there's like groups they set up that operate almost like a flash mob does, where they, there's no organization that has to be permanently in place, just a bunch of people that get together when there is an emergency and then disperse when they're done. So that way you don't have to have, constant, headquarters or, so administration costs and shit like that.
Kind of like an independent cell kind of thing.
All right. Yeah. So they just, come together when needed, and when not, there's no organization that has to be upheld in the meantime, like it is with Red Cross and any other charity, really. They just, again, come together and help out, and it cuts way down on all those administration costs and that kind of shit. But then whoever the website it was, I wish I could remember, but basically they're like, hey, yeah, send some links, and he's like, yeah, I don't have any links. I'm like, okay. It's like, I'm just an idea guy. I don't actually have any links to anything useful.
Nice.
Nah. But it is a good idea.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like essentially sort of like how white blood cells work. It's just they spontaneously start getting, sent to the places where they're needed to take out the germs and shit.
Right.
So here was an interesting thing with Tesla. The Model S60D was upgraded for free to a 75. Essentially, apparently Tesla just sells you a car and then locks you out of part of the battery through the computer programming, which is real fucking ridiculous. But they upgraded everybody for free temporarily so that they could get better range. And everybody was like, oh, that's amazing. Tesla's so nice. Here we go. Here's the thing. We at Tesla hope that you and your loved ones are safe while preparing for the hurricanes approaching Florida. Due to these exceptional circumstances and to help you better prepare to evacuate and get to safety, your vehicle has been adjusted at no cost to you to temporarily access the additional battery capacity until September 16th. You will notice the badging on the instrument cluster will read 75 during this period. We hope that this allows you to travel to your next destination with confidence and ease. And people were surprised that Tesla got a load of shit from a lot of people who are being like, how the fuck do you think you get to keep people from using the batteries they bought?
Yeah, that is pretty crazy, dude. Like, you just shut it down, and so the only thing keeping it from being full power or whatever is some code or something. Legal? Yeah.
You bought the car. You should be able to access any function in the vehicle you want.
Mm-hmm. No, I remember I read a book by Scott Adams, the guy that did the Dilbert cartoons, and somebody had sent him a thing talking about how their company had this software product, and basically the sales or marketing or whoever basically wanted them to put in some code to make it run slower so they could actually sell the actual full working version at an upgraded price. So they'd be identical, except just one of them had something in there to make sure that it ran slower so they could sell the regular product higher. Oh, shit. You still there? Did you get shut out? Is it me?
You can hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was trying to figure out what was going on with the audio. I switched to a different mic. My bad.
Oh,
Mickey
okay.
was saying he can't hear, so I'm not sure what's going on. Let me just take a real quick second here.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear you for a second there, but I don't know.
Oh, I can hear it on my internet when it's playing through the actual feed, so I don't know what's going on, Mickey.
Yeah, let us know if you can hear us now. If not,
well, I can hear us through the YouTube video that's playing.
Yeah.
Not just like through the Hangout, but through the actual video that's playing from the live feed. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't understand where the thing is where you can sell it. So any product that has parts of it blocked out like that. That just doesn't seem like it should be legal.
Yeah.
You should be able to access whatever part of your property you own, right?
Right.
I mean, you bought the car, it has all this battery capacity. You should be able to use the full battery. It shouldn't be legal to lock you out of any of that. That doesn't make sense. You own the car, you own the battery.
Yeah, you've purchased it. So how the fuck are you going to restrict it? And you're selling something else at an upgraded price. It's essentially what I was talking about. You're selling something else at an upgraded price when all you've really done is taken the regular product and restricted it.
Yeah, and then you're selling it something. You're selling the regular product for a higher price when the only difference is you're not restricting it. You're charging more for the same thing.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
And the weird part is that like nobody was there's a whole bunch of people who are like defending Tesla, and I'm like, look, if Tesla wants to sell a downgraded version that doesn't have as much power for a lower price, then they should not put the battery from the upgraded version in the downgraded version. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Make a smaller battery or whatever.
Yeah.
Although I wonder if it's something that they can learn to easily hack into somehow.
Yeah, I wonder eventually down the road, I'm sure there will be like essentially you buy a chip and plug the chip in and it just unlocks all the good stuff for you.
Yeah.
And, there's really nothing Tesla can do at that point because like that already got, I think iPhone tried to fucking screw with it essentially. Like they tried to make it illegal for people to jailbreak their iPhones.
All right.
A while ago, and that was ruled against in court because the court was like, look, you don't get to decide what people do with the product once they buy it. That's not how that works.
Right. Yeah, trying to act like you still fucking own it after you sold it to somebody.
You're out of your goddamn mind. You just sold the phone. People do whatever they want with the fucking hardware. If they want to replace the software, that's their fucking business, not yours. Oh, Mickey's downloading shit off the internet. Well, of course you can't hear us, man. Fucking download's taking your whole bandwidth up, man. Crazy.
Yeah. Get you some bandwidth, buddy.
Oh, I finished the download.
Right.
The download is way more important than us. I guarantee it's more entertaining.
Right.
I mean, that little bar going up. Fucking. Oh man. Oh god, I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow where I'm taking a class on knee pain management. And I'm just so not looking forward to fucking 2 hours of that nonsense.
You're taking a class?
Well, I keep trying to get my doctor to give me, not necessarily give me medications, but to like maybe anti-inflammatories or something that'll help to, tell me what I can do to ease my knee pain. And they're like, well, you should take, what is it, the fucking... when somebody like is crippled in the movies and they have to go and they go to see a person and the person teaches them how to walk again and everybody laughs and everybody's happy because they fucking walked 3 feet.
Right. Like rehabilitation.
People are called. It's not rehabilitation. It's something
Therapist,
else.
physical therapy.
Physical therapist, that kind of thing. And they're like, oh, you should go and see these people. And I'm like, do you think I'm fucking made of money? I can't afford to go see that like 2 or 3 times a month. That's just not realistic. And
Your insurance doesn't cover physical therapy?
Well, I'd have to pay a copay, and I don't make that much fucking money a month. I got paid to sleep. You probably fucking $30 to $50 a fucking appointment, and they want me to do like 3 or 4 a month. Like, I don't have
Okay, yeah. Usually my copay was like $10 when I'd go to like physical therapy.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking between 120 to $200 a month. They want me to fucking work on this therapy shit.
Yeah. I guess. Well, it's been a while. Maybe it's different now. But yeah, I used to only pay like $10 for physical therapy appointments.
Yeah, my thing is like, give me a fucking brace or something and call it a day. You know, like, and then every time I do, they're like, well, I'm like talking about it. Every time I do, they just start going in to like cut me off, like, so I don't ever get to that point. They just cut me off with like, well, we can't give you any narcotics, painkillers, and I'm like, well, that's great because I didn't fucking ask you for them.
Right.
Like,
yeah, everybody's drug seeking in their opinion. Yeah.
Oh, it's been.
What, you want a knee brace? No, you cannot have any painkillers. Like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't ask for. Yeah.
It's been a thing. I don't know. It's weird. I think I've been labeled. I think I got to get a request in my file at some point because.
Right.
It's they keep talking about addiction. Like I got a lecture on my anxiety med the last appointment, which was weird. Because I have costochondritis, which is just me self-diagnosing based on the symptoms I have.
Right.
And the fact that my chest joint pops. So in the middle of your chest, like right in the middle, there's a fucking joint between the two halves of your rib cage. And that can become inflamed and distressed depending on whatever. And for me, the more I crouch over, the more it does it. So I have to really limit like my gaming and shit.
Right.
Mine occasionally fucking it'll pop and it feels better, but like it gets sore and it fucking spasms and shit.
God damn.
Yeah, depending, so you got to be careful with it. And I was trying to talk to the doctor about it, and they were just like, "Oh, sounds like anxiety, and you got to be really careful with how you're managing your pills, and they can become addictive, and blah 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 blah." And I'm just like, "Well, fucking, what am I seeing a doctor for?"
Right. Yeah. I think it's the state. I'm pretty sure it's the state you live in, dude. I'm pretty sure that's a California thing.
It might be.
Although, again, it's been several years since I've, done the drug-seeking behavior thing, so it could be completely different here too. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I were taking like fucking OxyContin and being like, "Man, these OxyContin are kind of weak. You got something a little better? Can you double me up, doc?" I could totally get it. But I'm not even asking for more meds.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey, can you check me out and make sure this is what's really going on? And fucking tell me what I need to do. Like, is there stretches? Is there exercises? Is there a brace I should be wearing? Should I be sleeping in a certain way? What's the deal here?
Yeah, and they're just going to, every single one of my patients is just drug seeking.
Yeah, exactly. So I do wonder if that's everybody. That would really suck, man.
Yeah, it could be. There's probably quite a few people that are doing that, And honestly, restricting it, okay, if somebody's actually addicted and they're doing the drug-seeking thing or doctor shopping and that kind of shit, all you're doing by taking that away is moving them to heroin, dude. Like, you know what I mean? That's what happens. You cut them off. Again, continuing to give it to them is bad. But cutting them off is almost always going to move them to heroin.
Yeah, which is going to make them take an even sharper downward turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's
as bad as it is, you're actually making it worse and this is coming from someone in recovery that knows that it's bad. But counsel them, do whatever you got to do. But fuck, don't just cut them off out of the blue, man.
I've always thought we should legalize most drugs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because people are going to do them anyway. Like the drug war is lost. You guys lost it. Sorry, government. It's fucking over. You're done.
It's impossible. It's impossible to win it, dude.
But they haven't even made a dent.
Yeah, right.
They haven't even really reduced drug use at all. They've just, it just changes to different drugs whenever they crack down on one. So
and even then, somebody else. So, anytime you take someone out of the supply thing or whatever, someone else is going to take their place.
Absolutely.
So all you're doing is just changing who's doing the shit.
Exactly.
It's not going to stop ever because people want to get high.
Whereas you look at the way weed's going with the legalization. It's not just weed related crime, but a bunch of other kinds of crime are dropping down.
Yeah.
You have less drunk driving accidents. And weed became cheaper and more pure and much more reliable, that you're going to get what you want to get. Like you're not going to get like fucking weed laced with PCP or meth or fucking cocaine or any of that shit. You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Much better regulation. Much better product.
Yeah, exactly. Well, some of it, I guess, was that embalming fluid. I forget what it's called.
Sherm. They referred to it as Sherm. I don't know what it's really called, but
yeah. But
formaldehyde. Is it actually formaldehyde?
Yeah, it is formaldehyde. Some of it will be laced with that.
Yeah, we called it Sherm here, and that's the nickname for it. But,
so it's like fucking why do that when you can just sell it legally? The government makes money in taxes. People make money in businesses. A whole lot of crime gets cut down,
right?
And nobody really loses at all.
Yeah. Well, in Colorado, they had so much extra money from the taxes and shit. In addition to the drop in crime, like, dude, it's fucking win-win, man.
Well, and they actually had a drop in underage use.
Oh wow!
Because it's more controlled. Like there's no dealers, there's no market for like the illegal.
Yeah, there's no black market or very little black market anymore.
Yeah, there's virtually no black market because there's no they're getting undercut by a fucking store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can go and buy an eighth ounce of weed for as little as $20, $15 in some cases. I mean, the good stuff is generally between $30 and $40 an ounce. You can pay more if you want, like a really high end. But really good quality weed, $15-$20 an eighth is really not that hard to find.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
And so how's a dealer going to compete with that?
Yeah, that's fucking cool, man. I didn't even think of that, but that's actually pretty natural consequence, dude. But and looking back,
I don't think anything is wrong with people doing weed. I just think maybe people should wait until maybe in their mid-20s at least before they start fucking with their brain.
Right. Let it develop all the way before you start fucking with it.
Yeah. Well, at least with weed, it's generally better if you wait until you're in your mid-20s to fuck with it. If you smoke it as a teenager, you shouldn't do it, but whatever. That's the case with a lot of fun things.
Right. Damn. But yeah, I can see the other. If you're selling any other drugs like heroin or any of that, like it would have to be set up like people behind bulletproof glass and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like those ones are going to get robbed.
The prices would drop, and it would no longer be grounds to terminate employees. So you wouldn't have to worry. You could keep a job. Mm-hmm. The biggest reason that those end up so dangerous is because they're considered so much worse than marijuana, but also it's so much harder to keep a job when you're doing them because they're so illegal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places that might look the other way if you pop for weed. They'll be like, "Look, hey, you don't smoke on the job. I don't give a shit." Like I've worked in places like that where I've had friends who smoked weed who got the job anyway because the boss was like, "Look, man, as long as you wait till after to spark up, I got no problem. If I think you're high on the job, you're out.
Right.
We'll give you a shot." And that's really common.
Yeah. Although it's tough to keep up like a heroin addiction and keep a job, but beyond that.
Well, I mean, if you pop for heroin or cocaine, not going to happen. Meth, no, they're not down with that.
Yeah, understandable.
But if you could keep a job, I mean, working even in a McDonald's or something, you could probably afford to live in a shitty apartment somewhere, working a couple jobs and do your heroin or your cocaine or your crack or whatever. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of really successful business people that do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, although I would not recommend having any of the harder drugs be sold by like actual people. I would say like maybe some type of vending machine, something that can't be broken into because it's going to happen. I'm just thinking back to when I was.
I think you do it at like a place where they go to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to go do heroin, you got to go down and hang out at the heroin bar for like the next 6 to 8 hours.
Right. So although I don't see it, I can see a lot more problems with that doesn't happen with weed. That would happen with like heroin addicts.
Well, and the other thing is you don't do it all at once. So, like, we've legalized weed. Let's do that for a couple of years. Let that settle in, and then let's go to like shrooms or something. And if you want to go do shrooms, you got to go set up and do it at a place where you're monitored and you're with people, and there's stuff to keep you occupied and people that know how to handle it if you start freaking out.
Right. Plus, just being around other people that are on the mushrooms or the LSD with you, it helps out tremendously, dude.
And essentially, you just make like a little playground for adults where there's like a room with like blocks to build with, and like another one with TVs playing fun videos or
weird psychedelic shit going on,
or even just like fucking Disney movies or some shit, whatever.
Rooms full of blacklight posters, that kind of shit.
Yeah, and just like you go down there, you go and you hang out while you're tripping, and once you're sober, you can leave. You got to stay there for like 3 or 4 hours or something like that.
Yeah, kind of pass a little test to get out. Like, all right, you're sober, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and you agree to stay. You like it's all on the up and up, and everybody, you have to sign a little waiver and everything, and but have it be legal so people can go do that on the weekends or on their day off or whatever. It'd probably be bad. It probably wouldn't get out to like a lot of the rural areas where it'd be really like not tolerated, but in the cities, the medium to smaller cities would probably each have one, and maybe like the bigger cities have a couple of places.
Yeah.
And then
I think that goes over well, man.
Yeah, and then a couple years later down the road, then you look at like something else. Like, okay, well maybe we'll do like really good cocaine and keep going on down the road. I would start with all the natural based substances first.
Right.
Like, I put me last on that list.
Yeah, because shrooms are not that bad. I mean, shrooms are like you're a little crazy, but it's still more of a downer. It's still more of a mellow kind of thing. LSD is pretty intense. You're pretty much insane for like 8 to 10 hours. Like you're just fucking nuts, and you got that amp to it. And,
Oh yeah.
That's what I used to refer to LSD, like being high on LSD. I was like, it's basically temporary insanity.
I don't know if I would call it. I didn't feel insane when I was on it, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess
euphoric?
it's just, really euphoric, but still you have really weird thoughts and fucking, it can be great, but it can also fucking turn on you, dude.
Yeah, I had a little bit of that when I looked at, I have a Spuds MacKenzie lamp, like an old Spuds MacKenzie lamp, which I don't know if anybody remembers. It's the white dog that used to, advertise Budweiser beer, Spuds.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For
I remember.
Who doesn't know, yeah. I think they had a similar dog in
Futurama
movie Friday.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. They gave the dog weed or something to get in the guy's backyard. That was the same kind of dog as Spuds MacKenzie. I'm just trying to make references.
Right. Yeah, or again in Futurama they had the Slurm mascot. I forget what the fuck his.
Exactly like the Slurm mascot. Yeah, that was based off of Spuds MacKenzie.
Yeah.
And that was the only time the LSD started to turn on me a little, is when I checked out Spuds. So I was like, I ain't looking at that again. I looked at the mirror.
Well, how many times? You didn't do it that much either, though, right? I mean, how many times did you do LSD?
Okay, so I did it twice, and both times I did 3 hits.
That's pretty good dosage, man.
I didn't pussy out with the whole 1-hit thing. I was just like, wow, I'm gonna do LSD. I should just do 3 at once.
Right. Yeah. Well, honestly, I would never do it unless I had at least 2. It was between 2 up to as many as I think I've done as many as 8. Not all at once, but like 4 and then 2 more and then 2 more.
If I'm being honest, the only reason I haven't done it since is I really just don't have anywhere to get it from.
Yeah, that's a tough one
now because the anxiety I've got. I'd probably want to do like something like shrooms, like low dose shrooms or something.
Yeah, if you've got any kind of mental hangups, it can. I've seen that happen to people. I have stories. I have some interesting stories, dude.
One of my friends, he was telling me about his friend who hung himself on LSD because the people he was with didn't know how to handle it when it turned on him, and so they just started trying to knock him out. And in the real world, knocking people out is not very easy to do.
Right.
He got away and ran away from the guys who were all punching him, thought everybody hated him, and hung himself.
Yeesh. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to be. Anxiety can kind of mess with it, but it's almost like as long as you're pretty tough mentally, otherwise, like you shouldn't have a problem with it. That Yeah, if something's bugging you, it's going to come out. You know, like
And
if
that's not
something's
necessarily a
really
bad thing if you're with the right group of people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if you're
I've just seen it go really, really bad, dude. One of these days, like if we hit a low and we just can't talk about anything, I'll fucking tell the LSD stories. Yeah.
I'll tell an LSD story, man. Why would we wait?
Yeah, you want me to? Okay,
yeah.
All right. Here's one. I was hanging out with a friend of mine, a few friends of mine, and my friend was dating this girl whose cousin would always hang out with us. And basically, we were sitting and we dropped the acid or whatever. The cousin or whatever he dropped too. It was the middle of winter and we were sitting out in his shed. Like he had a shed done up with like a TV and shit, and like we'd hang out there and fucking get high and whatever. And we were watching the Mortal Kombat movie, the very first Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And which is pretty fucking weird. It's pretty trippy. And so we're all frying or whatever, and then like he had left for a minute, the cousin or whatever, my friend's girlfriend's cousin, and then like he came back in, and it's winter, really cold, and he had no shirt on, no shoes or socks, like it was just in his pants, and he came in and sat down, and then like he was watching the movie, and like as the characters are going, he starts naming us off. He's like, "Oh yeah, there's Chuck, there's Matt, there's Thomas," and we weren't sure what the fuck he was saying. Like afterwards, we realized like he was talking about like him kicking our asses or something. Like that's what was in his head apparently. And then all of a sudden, he was like just out of the blue. He's like, man, it's cold. And I'm like, dude, you're sitting there without a fucking shoes or socks or a shirt on. Yeah, I bet it is pretty fucking cold. You know, like still not realizing this dude's losing his fucking mind. And then like my friend's sister was there, and she was like laying on the couch, and he was sitting like next to her, and like he was like starting to hit on her, dude. And it was kind of weird because I had actually just lost my virginity to that chick like 2 weeks earlier than this, right? And
that's gotta sit well with your acid-riddled mind.
Yeah, but it was weird because that was like fucking was the furthest thing from my mind. You know what I mean? I was fucking frying like crazy.
Oh yeah.
So, but he was kind of like hitting on her, but it was like weird. Like we didn't really realize what it was because he was too fucked up or whatever. Like again, this is after the fact that we realized he was actually like hitting on her. And then, because like my friend was trying to think, no, I think he's saying this or whatever, but it turns out he totally was. And then like he went, and then he like left and went inside, and then apparently he was like messing with my friend's mom and his other sister, and then they finally had to come out and be like, you guys need to get rid of this dude. Like he's fucking losing it.
What was he doing? Actually, the sister.
Right?
Just like harassing him or something.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So it got to the point where we're like, dude, we can't. Like, they actually had to like smuggle his mom and sisters out of the house, dude, and then fucking us sneak out as well and just fucking leave them there. So, and dude, we're all fucking frying on acid, dude. So pretty freaking out, right?
Did the sister know you guys were out there doing acid, or was that news?
I think they must have known. I'm pretty sure they knew. Yeah.
That's a lucky thing. I'm just thinking, like your friend, you know, that'd be the worst way to handle it if, like, suddenly, like, mom doesn't know that he's out there doing drugs with his friends, and suddenly she's like, "Look, your friend is in here doing some weird shit." And they're like, "Oh yeah, that's the LS. Let's all go and sneak out."
Right. Yeah. So I think we like dropped them off at like the Holiday Inn or something, and then. Basically, we had to go get the dude's dad.
Oh, wow.
Who lived in the next town over, like maybe 20, 25 minutes away. And it's in the middle of the night, dude. It's like 12:31 in the morning.
Oh, it always is with drug stories, man, because you're never doing them at a normal time.
Right. All right. So we have to go to go get his dad to bring him back. And fucking his dad is huge, dude. He's like 6'3", like fucking 320 or 330, somewhere around there. Big fucking dude.
Yeah.
And then so we have to go in and knock on the door, get inside, high on acid. And my friend Matt has to tell him that, like, hey, we got hold of some acid, and your son is flipping out, and we need you to come get him. And the fucking first thing the dad said is like, why don't I just kick your fucking ass right now? And he's like, I understand you wanting to do that, sir, but I'm really hoping you don't. Can you please come get your son? And I was like, holy shit, dude.
What an asshole, man. That's his first fucking response.
Yeah, well, I mean,
my son's in distress and needs some help, so I'm going to kick your ass because it's not his fault.
It's, the whole acid thing. I mean, he didn't do it. He was just saying,
no, I know.
What the fuck are you giving my son acid for? Why is he getting acid?
What the fuck is your son taking acid for? Is your son a 3-year-old? Did they fucking hold him down and put it in his fucking mouth? Grow up.
Well, I think he was about 16, 17 at the time, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The kid did it on his own. The guy needs to be a little.
Yeah, he did. He didn't kick anybody's ass, dude. He fucking.
Maybe it was just the waking up. Maybe I can see if you woke up, maybe you're a little pissed off.
Yeah, not the best mood you're going to be in to be woken up first of all and told that second of all. But again, he didn't do it. He was just like, I understand him being angry. So we get back and I didn't see this, but apparently when they first walked in, he was like on my friend's sister's bed, and basically masturbating and sticking his finger up his ass. And fucking
for extra points.
Yeah, dude. Yes, dude. And I didn't see that. He didn't tell me till afterwards. I'm like,
extra points when your dad catches you jacking off on some little girl's bed with your fucking finger up your ass. I'm on LSD.
Yeah, so finally, there was obviously some tension between the son and father, how right around that age, especially, you're kind of rebellious or whatever.
Oh yeah, you got to decide who's going to kick whose ass, man. Who's the big man?
Yeah, because the dad was like, "No, we got to go," and he's like, "No, it's fine." He's like, "No, I'm here. Your friends came and got me. This is not fine. Let's go."
Yeah, secret answer: it's always the dad.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be you when you're that age, but it's always going to be the dad. What's his cripple? If you can beat him by locking the wheelchair or unplugging it, you're good. Otherwise, fucking don't start it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but anyways, we fucking finally convinced him, like, hey, dude, you have to go with your dad, whatever issues you got, you have to go. All right. So we finally got him in there, got him home and shit. And then we went back, we finally go back to the house or whatever. And he had basically in my friend's mom's underwear drawer was full of jizz. Like he had fucked the shit out of the underwear drawer. And then his sister, the one that I had fucked, all her stuffed animals had holes ripped in them where he had basically ripped holes in them and was fucking the stuffed animals, dude.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
dude. Had some fucking demons that he was fucking, he needed to work out. He
was the definition of repressed, dude. And that shit apparently all came out, dude.
Yeah, well, LSD will fucking, you will be introduced to your deepest, darkest fucking real truth, your mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You gotta be in a good place if you're gonna drop LSD. Do not do it if you're depressed or too angsty or any of that shit. Like, make sure you're in a good state of mind if you're gonna take LSD.
I think in his heart of hearts, he's a pretty dark person, man. Because like I'm just a goofy dude. Like at the very heart of like the middle of who I am is I'm a goofy dude. So I take LSD. I see fucking alligators in the streets. Shit's all funny to me. I'm just having a good time, and I want everybody else to be enjoying themselves. And I'm happy as a clam. This dude takes it, and fucking the demon comes out, and he's just like, I gotta fuck everything.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It was pretty fucking disturbing, dude.
And unfortunately, because he's a 16-year-old, he's got fucking bucket loads of cum to fucking spread around.
Yeah, all kinds of fucking libido just fucking running wild, or been repressed so long. Like, fuck, did that dude not fucking at least masturbate? Like, how does that build up that much, dude?
That's pretty fucking sad. I feel a little bit bad for the guy, but at the same time, that's his own darkness coming to the surface, man. Yeah. Nobody was there but him.
Yeah, we didn't really realize it, but now looking back, previous to that, he was a pretty weird dude. Like it just didn't register quite to that level. That was possible.
Well, and thank God you got the mom and the sister out, because God only knows they would have woken up with a fucking wet spot on them somewhere.
Right, just covered in fucking sticky jizz everywhere. But yeah, it was weird because I was, literally, I had just lost my virginity to this chick a couple weeks before, and I was not even remotely thinking about fucking, dude.
Well, because that's not who you are at your heart of hearts. There's not a dark little demon in there that's all fucking ready to just start fucking trying to rape things.
I guess so.
Animals, it's not your thing. You might have other things. I mean, hey, we all got some darkness in us. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say like everybody's got a little piece of darkness buried down in there. But that just wasn't your kind.
Right.
And you probably addressed it. Like you said, you were sarcastic as a kid. You were like really mean to people sometimes. So you were kind of exercising that demon a little bit already. So it wasn't buried down.
Could be. But yeah, that was kind of the worst one I'd heard. Because I remember, dude, I told that story. It was funny because I was telling that story to this other guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got a story about the LSD and the Mortal Kombat." And he didn't tell his first, which in retrospect I probably should have just told his. All his story was, "Oh yeah, we all got on LSD, and we went into the Mortal Kombat thing, and we all got freaked out by the title thing, and we left." That was the whole story. So before he could tell that story, I told the story I just told you.
Oh man, Mortal Kombat story is just not cool.
Right.
It's like, man, I can't tell you my story. It's not cool enough. Right. That's like being the other guy, the second guy at the porno, and the first guy whips out like a 12-inch dick, and you're like sporting 6, and you're like, I'm fucking average, but Jesus, I can't pull my dick out now because this other guy just fucking pulled a third fucking leg from it.
Yeah, I thought that was fucking hilarious. I'm like, oh, okay, good story, dude.
Oh man, you know what? That dude is just not good at telling the story, though. You can draw out that story. You can be like, yeah, we're all in the theater having a great time, thinking, oh, this is gonna be great, and then the fucking title sequence starts and shit starts to go sideways. It starts freaking us out. You can really draw that out into like a really good story if you know how to tell a story.
Yeah, although following mine, he probably was like, no matter what, it's just not going to be anything like that.
You got to try, though. You got to try. Yeah. You'd be like, yeah, I got 6 inches, but I can put it up her ass because it'll fit.
Right. That'll feel huge for her.
Exactly. This is the way I can compete.
Yeah.
I'll be in the back door.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's a riot, dude.
Although,
I was gonna say the best one I've heard, not the best story I've heard. That actually is probably the best one I've heard on acid. But my dad, one of my dad's favorite stories when he was on acid was just before he married my mom, and so her dad showed up one day after he had dropped like 3 or 4 hits, and took him jewelry shopping with him. So my dad was high as fuck on acid. My mom's dad was not okay with drugs, and he's hanging out with this dude, and they're looking at all sorts of jewels and gems and all this kind of shit. Not a good day.
Right.
He's like, it was amazing. It looked great, but I was terrified the entire time.
That's crazy. But yeah.
Well, Mickey's the town. I've heard this a couple places now. They're going after PewDiePie.
Oh yeah, because he said nigger.
Is that what happened? He just said nigger?
Yeah, like he somebody killed him in like an unsportsmanlike way, I guess, and he's like, you fucking nigger. Basically that. Yeah.
Oh, fucking these people need to grow
up. And pretty much immediately he's like, I'm sorry, and just that, whatever. Like he realized it was a mistake, dude.
You know what? He made a mistake. He said something that wasn't cool. Like he's the first person to fucking do that in the world? Really?
Yeah. Everybody has done that. Has fucking yelled out a racial epithet, whether you're a black guy yelling fucking Peckerwood, or although I don't know if you count any of the white shit as fucking epithets because we don't really care. But,
cracker, Peckerwood. They all sound kind of fucking funny. It doesn't really work.
Yeah, but regardless, and everybody's pretty much done that at some point. So it doesn't make you racist. Just means you were really pissed off for 1 second and you fucking said some shit.
I can see how that works though, because like you sit there and in your head you probably like, what's the worst thing I can say right now?
Yeah. Yeah, you want to lash out.
You're angry, yeah. So you get out the worst fucking thing you can say, and that turns out it's nigger.
Yeah.
I get creative. So like I'll be driving behind somebody and be like screaming at them like, I'm gonna fucking rip your arms off and sew them to your ears. Just go fuck you to death and hold your hand real sweet. Get the fuck out my way.
Damn. Yeah, that is pretty creative.
Exactly.
I would give you that. Dude, where's Akinaro and the others, man? Have they deserted us? Akinaro's not here. Sketchcover's not here.
Well, Opal was starting to stream earlier, so I wonder if maybe she started streaming and like an Akinaro found that channel and was just like, oh, she sounds like a little girl.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh, well. They're usually not here when we first start, but they're usually here by now.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's totally weird. Well, I didn't know Engelhardt wasn't going to be here. That's all right. I don't think he listens to these, so I gotta share this. It's gonna be funny. So we're gonna do the frozen TV dinner review thing.
All right.
I got these Hawaiian style plastic wine glasses, and then I found an old Crystal Skull vodka bottle.
Oh, nice.
You know, like it's just a glass skull essentially that you can hold stuff in. I'm gonna use that to hold the water to pour in, and I'll put that on the set, a little table with everything. And I ordered 100 mixed condoms. So, I'm not going to tell them in advance, but I'm going to pull a handful out just as we're like, get everything set up on the table and sprinkle them around the table. Try to get like a live, just sort of like, the fuck are you doing?
That's fucking awesome.
Candles, Crystal Skull, little wine glasses, get the vodka, looks like, vodka and, and everything in the plates and everything put down the little TV dinners. And then I'm just going to break those out and sprinkle them around the table and not say a fucking word.
Are you going to do that when you're live, you mean?
Absolutely, when we're recording.
Yes.
I want a live reaction.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. Say something like, hey, let's hope the night goes well, and throw out the fucking condoms.
I'm not going to say anything, man. I'm just going to put them on
the That's even better, actually. Don't even comment on it. Just
exactly.
Yeah, that is better, actually.
It depends on if they show up in time. That's the thing. I'm not sure if they'll arrive before then.
Gotcha. Yeah, it doesn't have to be done the first time. Yeah.
Well, right now they're in Burlingame, California, so hopefully they'll make their way up to me by Wednesday. We'll see.
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, one day to my city. I was about to say the name of my city, and I'm like, probably better not. It's not a huge city. And then another day to me, so maybe tomorrow or the day after, if I'm lucky, they'll show up sometime. Like $20 for 100, like mixed, just totally assorted condoms. So that should be pretty funny.
Yeah, fuck yeah, yeah. Is that going to be on this channel or on your Stabby? Or
I'm going to put it on this channel. I'm not. I haven't really done anything with Stabby in a long time. If I do any more, pardon me, got a little burp there. If I do any like more popsicle stick videos, I'll do those on my Stabby channel, but that's pretty much what I want to keep my Stabby channel to, is the popsicle stick stuff. And we're doing stuff regularly here, so I might as well post whatever interesting shit I come up with and that I can do in whatever way I can do it on this channel.
Yeah, right on. Cool. Looking forward to that. So, you're going to actually live stream it, or you're going to record it and then?
No, I don't know how to live stream from a video camera.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I mean, I could do it from a webcam, but I think it'd be better if we just video the whole thing and then edit it together and try to make it like a real like YouTube video kind of thing.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I am looking forward to it, dude. It sounds awesome.
Should be good. Should be good. We're going to start off with banquet spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah, nice. Classic choice.
Yeah. Right. I figured, that's one of those ones that like, probably everybody's tried at least once and been like, I don't know why I bought that.
Yeah, it's weird. Some of them are actually pretty good. Like I said, the Hungry Man ones are usually pretty good. I used to eat like the healthy choice, the ones that came in like the green box.
There's a lot of
Those
them
ones
that
weren't
are
too bad.
good. They're just not as good as home cooked. Most frozen TV dinner stuff are all right. I think the only things you really have to watch out for are things like mac and cheese.
Right.
Because cheese just doesn't do well. Like certain methods of preparing cheese don't do well in the freezer. Like if you make pizza where the cheese is just grated, but where if the cheese is melted into like a sauce with like milk and flour or some other thickener, that just doesn't freeze and unfreeze as well.
Yeah, that's the problem with the TV dinners is getting shit to cook evenly, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, I think we're going to use the oven for all of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Make like a big thing about like we'll probably intro each little TV dinner and just do like a little bit like this is a banquet, spaghetti and meatballs, and fairly easy to prepare. It takes such and such time and such heat on the oven kind of thing, and show us putting it in, and it's all part of the intro kind of deal.
Yeah, put one in and have another oven where it's ready to come out like they do on the cooking shows. Oh yeah, you probably have to have two ovens for that, I suppose.
Yeah. you can cut like that. We can cut like that, but
like 30 minutes, but be instant on the video.
Yeah, it'll be instant on the video because there's no reason to show us waiting for half an hour on the video.
Just staying there. Although that could be funny, but the joke would get old pretty quick. But
yeah, it'd be funny like, one time.
You're actually going to do this for 30 minutes, are you?
We'll post the fucking, the video outtakes will just be that 30-minute period.
Right.
And not talking or doing anything really.
Just staring like weirdly, like some weird expression on your face, just staring intently at the screen.
And just stare at the oven.
Yeah. Be like that one guy that fucking does 4-hour videos where all he does is sit and smile at the fucking camera.
There's a guy that does it?
Yeah. You've never seen that?
No, that's
he does like fucking 3 or 4 hour videos where all it is just him sitting there staring at the fucking screen, dude.
And smiling.
Where he fucking pisses his pants and never changes his expression. Like you can see the fucking liquid running on the floor and he still just sits there and smiles at the camera, dude.
Oh man, is there any like preamble or post video thing where he's doing something?
As far as I know, he has never said anything really on any of the videos.
It makes me wonder. What if it's just some dude who's taking care of some guy with like catatonic, who's catatonic and can't move, and he just fucking sets a video camera there every once in a while and then posts that shit. Where he just videos the guy that he's taking care of.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the fuck's going on, dude.
I want it to be somebody who just does that on his own. Like, what is his thought process? Does he think it's like a big artistic statement?
I'm not sure. Let me see. Oh, it's Benjamin Bennett is the name of the guy.
I just wonder,
that's the name of his channel. I mean, I assume that's his name.
I feel like
all the videos. All his videos are called Sitting and Smiling, and the latest one is number 276, and it is 4 hours, 1 minute, and 45 seconds. Jeez. And that's pretty much what it is. They're all about basically 4 hours long.
I wonder how many people watch his videos.
Let's see. The last one was get back up there. 47,000 so far. That was streamed 1 week ago. Oh, he live streams it too, by the way. Sorry, he live streams it.
Oh, he live streams it.
Yeah. The one before that was 149,000 views.
Oh man, that's ridiculous. Who watches that shit? Why?
I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine you watching the whole thing. Like that would be fucking ridiculous.
It's got to be like a social thing where like people in the chat that you chat with. You know what I mean? Like, so you all are watching it together, and it's just like an excuse to hang out in a chat room and talk with people. Because I can't imagine watching it more than once.
Yeah. Dude, literally, as far as I know, and I'm pretty sure this is correct, all he does is sit there and smiles at the camera, doesn't comment, doesn't respond to any chat. That's all he does, dude. I would imagine in that case, like, the chat's got to be pretty entertaining. Like, the chat is way more entertaining than the guy. You know?
There's got to be something that's drawing people back, because I can't imagine 140,000 people just being like, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, he has, what, 135,000, almost 136,000 subscribers, dude. And he's up to number 276. He's done this 276 times, dude.
I don't.
Yes.
I want to. That's a dude I want to sit down and fucking have dinner with someday.
Yeah. Let's invite him on the stream, dude.
What the fuck is going on in his head? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude. Definitely reach out and invite him. Who this guy is. Send him a fucking request. Maybe he'll just sit and stare at us in our fucking stream. It'll just be over in the corner.
Yeah, Benjamin Bennett, and that's the name.
That's
weird. Hold on, let me see what it says. I'm going to go to the about part of his channel. So yeah, Benjamin Bennett. Yeah, and like his back wallpaper or whatever is just a bunch of pictures of his face smiling. Yeah, you got YouTube. Look it up.
Nice.
Description, nothing. www.sittingandsmiling.com. That's all it says for the description. He's been around since 2013. Jesus. It's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, he's up to 276. They're all like 4-hour videos.
Yeah, dude.
And he gets anywhere from like 40 to 150,000 views per video. Oh, one of them's got 636,000.
Is that the one where he peed? That's probably the one where he peed, dude. I can almost guarantee that.
Well, I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to look at the comments. Oh, no, he starts it off, so you can see him.
Does he actually say something?
No. He's just sitting there looking at the camera like it's getting it.
Oh, setting it up, you mean?
Setting it up. So he's not catatonic. I was just hoping it was like somebody who's catatonic.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, that's true. I forgot he does it does have him walk into frame or whatever. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. He gets it all set up and then gets going here. I accidentally loaded his website and it stopped loading. This is not good.
Oh man. 636.
All right, let's see if the comments, because usually if there's something like that, it'll be like the comments, somebody will have a thing. Oh, there's no comments. That's weird.
Oh, wow.
Are they just not loading? Maybe my internet's all fucked or something. I don't know. I'm going to check another video, see if there's comments on it.
Yeah, he might just disable comments.
Yeah. No, the comments are on this one.
Oh, Sitting and Smiling number 5 got 2 million views.
Well, no wonder he kept doing it.
Right.
I wonder if for him it's just a form of meditation, and he just decided to film it. Then maybe that's.
But it's funny. Like even if people are knocking on the door, he will not move. He will not get up and answer the door. Nothing, dude. Because if you do that 4 hours a day for 200 and whatever times, occasionally you're gonna get a visitor while you're doing it, dude. But he's like, nope, not moving.
That's crazy sauce.
Yeah, I can't remember who turned me on to that, but there was somebody doing a video,
Yeah, he's got his eyes closed. Sometimes they're open, sometimes they're closed.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can find the one who repeats himself, dude.
That's insane. Well, you would imagine at the end there would be urine.
Top 5 creepiest.
Yeah, he just occasionally blinks, but the whole time he's smiling at the camera. I wonder if he's sitting and smiling because he's making fucking fat cash off this shit.
Fucking knows, dude. It's just fucking bizarre, though.
Oh, I want to see a Mitoker video on that, dude. I really do.
Is that who did it? No, I think I've known about it longer than before you turned me on to Mitoker.
Well, Mitoker has been around on the internet for a very long time under various names. The last incarnation I knew him as was the Internet Aristocrat. He was big in Gamergate and had a channel of a similar size as he has now. But prior to that, he also had a couple of other channels like Brightside Bob and some other ones I don't know the name of that have been deleted. that he had equally large channels. Like he just keeps making giant fucking YouTube channels.
Right.
You know, up in like the 100,000, 150,000 subscriber range. Every time he starts a new one, it just ends up there.
Yeah. It's good shit, man. I like his content a lot. I don't know how I missed him up until you told me a few weeks ago about him, dude.
Yeah.
But
well, and then this is the first time he's ever done anything with money involved. Like he's never had ads or Patreon or anything like that. He's never made money off of YouTube until this channel.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Really weird, yeah. And the only reason is
kind of like how Rags was. Are you familiar with Rags?
No.
Yeah, Rags is he's like a PC gamer, like a really pro PC, anti-console guy. But he's really fucking funny, dude. And for the longest time, he was doing videos without ads, didn't have a Patreon, nothing. And he would make he makes long videos. Like, I think the last one, I was like, holy shit, this video is only 28 minutes long. Like, normally they're like 40 or 50 minutes long, dude. And it was probably only maybe 6 months ago that he opened like a Patreon. He's like, all right, if you guys want me to make more videos, you guys contribute to my Patreon. And people have, but he still doesn't run videos, dude. He still doesn't run videos on his channel. He never did.
You mean run ads?
Yeah, I'm sorry, videos. Jesus
never runs ads. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I mean, videos like that. And I think there was some sort of health issue that had caused him some problems with keeping his job, like his day job that he was doing. And so he had no other option than to turn to YouTube and kind of hope that he could make a little money off that to kind of tide him over. And now he's in a position where he's like, I don't know if I want to stop doing this, but I don't know if I want to keep doing it. Because he's getting all this Patreon cash, but at the same time, is it as pure as it was when he was really enjoying it and is he still having fun?
Yeah, back when it wasn't a job, it was just a hobby. Yeah, that's a tough one. Although I think he still seems to be enjoying himself. But yeah, I remember the fucking the gang stalking video of his is fucking awesome, dude. I could not believe that shit. I'm like, holy shit, yeah. People are fucking insane, dude.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least it made sense out of the
they glow in the dark.
Well, I had seen the video of the girl that confronts the mailman because she thought he was stalking her because he was coming to her apartment complex almost every day except Sunday. This guy's always at my, you know what I mean? She thought he was fucking stalking her. And it's the fucking, because he's like, are you talking to me? Like, you're fucking crazy. Like, if you think I'm stalking you, you're fucking crazy. I had seen that video, and then I was like, now it makes sense. I saw the gang stalking one. I'm like, okay, she's nuts, and she thinks everybody's fucking stalking her. But yeah, the one they walks up to him and they're like, hey, look, I know you're the lookout or whatever the fuck he called him, and I know you've killed people, and he's like talking to a guy, a stranger. He walked up to a guy and started saying that shit to him, dude. I know how you set up the hits and kill people. Yeah, and the guy's like, what? What the fuck is wrong with you? Or they would be like, watch what they do with their hands. This is how you can tell. Watch what they'll do with their hands. And like they'll just make some gesture, like go up and scratch their nose or something. They're like, see, there it is. Yep, that's one of them. Jesus Christ.
It is a form of paranoid delusion, obviously.
Right. Really entertaining one.
I have dealt with a lot of clients who think that people are fucking, maybe they think they're insulting them or they think that they're stealing from them. I've got dealt with a lot of that kind of stuff. So it's not as weird for me.
They think they're just setting them up to rob them.
Or I've got clients who think they own everything.
No,
and people just ripped them off. Like, so all the money out there is theirs. Like, they own everything. And once they get their money back, man, I'll get you a new car. I'll buy you a house because you're cool, man.
So okay. So I can see why that's not as entertaining.
Oh, it's entertaining as fuck. I just I picture being that poor mailman.
Oh, it's more entertaining for you. I got you.
It's way more than any of my clients because my clients are on medication, so it's fairly controlled. You get little outbursts. But these people are clearly unmedicated and just fucking nuts.
Yeah. I guess I've had some friends that were kind of similar to that where they kind of really thought like the world was just out to keep them down. And I'd have to tell them like, dude, you're not that important, dude.
Yeah. It's like, no, dude.
Fucking, who do you think you are? Yeah, like
Sorry.
you're nobody, buddy. You and me, we're both nobody. Nobody fucking gives a shit. There's no conspiracy keeping us down. We're just fucking lazy slackers.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, man, you're just really bad at making decisions.
Right?
All of them have been bad choices. Sorry, dude. Can't help it.
Yes, dropping out of junior high was probably a bad choice, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't like to blame my fucking issues on other people. That's shitty.
Yeah, no, I cast that off pretty early on in life.
Well, you probably can blame a lot of your issues, at least some of your issues, on the ex-girlfriend, the ex-wife, and all that.
Right.
Because
there's a little bit, but before that
stuff going on there, but it doesn't serve any real.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, in my mind, it doesn't matter if it is or isn't. It doesn't really change anything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not going to help me.
Yeah.
By holding on to it and blaming her for shit is definitely not going to help me with anything.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. That's what I was trying to reach that, I guess. Not saying it very well.
Oh, man. But yeah, people that have nothing and they still have no real reason other than their own behavior, but still fucking blame some shadow government or something. Like, dude, no.
Well, I think there is some validity to, corporations are basically fucking the system, and the reason money is so.
I just mean them thinking they were picked out on a personal. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just to say, and that the reason a lot of people are just having such a hard time making ends meet is because of these corporations and how fucking devalued our money has gotten, and to the point where we just can't earn a real fair wage in a lot of jobs.
Yeah,
that's not going to get you anywhere,
Right.
Like you could be upset about it. You should be trying to figure out how to, voting for people to try to change it. But you can't let that just be your whole fucking plan. You gotta figure. Well, this is a shitty system. I gotta figure out some way to make it work for me.
Right. Yeah, I guess my issue is with them because I had a couple of friends that felt like they were personally picked out to be fucked with, dude. And I'm like, dude, no. Dude, nobody cares who you are. Seriously.
That would be fucking frustrating.
Yeah, they're not really friends anymore. Way too self-absorbed, dude.
Well, yeah, they think the whole fucking world is out to get their ass, man. That's like.
Well, not even that. They were just shitty friends, dude. They were fucking horrible friends, dude. Like, they would just do fucking shitty things, dude. And you're like, you're just a bad friend. Like I've helped you out with all this shit, and all you do is kind of shit on me. So fuck you.
Oh yeah.
Like those. Like I had a friend. This guy, actually the same guy. One of the same guys I was talking about. Like he came by my place on my day off, and he's like, "Hey, let's go shoot some pool somewhere." And I'm like, "Sure, all right." So we go to the pool place, and immediately there's it's empty. It's like early afternoon, right? There was like one chick there shooting pool, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go shoot a game with her." And I was like, that's kind of weird, but all right, whatever. But he ended up shooting pool with her for like 3 or 4 hours, and I'm just sitting there doing nothing, dude. Oh, I'm not the one that asked to fucking go shoot pool. Like, he came and fucking got me to go do this, and then he fucking.
Why did you stay there for 3 or 4 hours?
Yeah, I had ridden with him, dude. And
you couldn't. There was no way for you to get out.
I had fucking hitched a ride with him. I didn't drive. If I knew what was going to happen, I wouldn't have fucking rode with him, obviously. But
I'd be so pissed.
Yeah, no, I was, dude. That was the last straw. It wasn't the first time something like that had happened, but it was just kind of like, and then, dude, it might have been understandable if the girl was hot or something, but she was really fucking average looking, like barely average looking. And she just happened to be the one girl in the bar, so he had her in the fucking place. And he fucking takes off.
I think I'd try to walk home. I don't know how far away it was. It could be like 20 miles, and I'd be like, I got to walk it.
Yeah, I might be exaggerating on how long it was, but it was at least a couple hours. And when it first happened, I was pretty much pissed at that point, and at least they had like fucking video games and shit, so I was doing that. But I was just like, just take me home, dude. Let's go. And then fucking, he was oblivious, dude. He didn't understand why I was mad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely not hanging out with that guy again. Hang out with him.
No, that was pretty much the last straw. He was one of those people that was not happy for you if you did well. Like he was in competition with his friends. You know, one of those fuckers.
Yeah, if you do well, it's like you're taking stuff away from him.
Yeah, it's like you're winning almost. Like you're beating him somehow instead of just being happy for you. You know, you know what I mean. So he was one of those. In fact, I think I told another story about him. He was the one that always wanted a full-size truck. He got a full-size truck finally. He's like, hey, take me for a ride. And then he saw another truck that was nicer, and he was fucking furious and pissed off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
so
you know, on the upside, he'll never be fucking happy. So,
yeah.
You know, he punishes himself more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, dude. But I cut him off. Yeah. I was just like, you're done, dude. And I'm like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. I basically told him that. I'm like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. You're fucking horrible. And I was actually staying, me and another friend, was my roommate at the time. So he would come over and fucking hang out with that dude because they were still friends or whatever. And then fucking he would try to talk to me about it. He's like, you know, I know you'd think you got a reason to get mad. And I'm like, I fucking know for sure that I have a reason to get mad. I have no interest in fucking being your friend.
Yeah,
You're
fuck
awful.
me over once, shame on me. Fuck me, or shame on you. Fuck me over twice, and I'm the idiot at that point. You know, like, why am I keep giving you opportunities?
Yeah. In fact, he showed up to my work like maybe a year later. I happened to be outside talking on the phone with my girlfriend or whatever, and he came and like sat like next to me like outside, and I was talking to my wife or whatever, girlfriend, whatever she was at the time, and then basically talking to her for like 5 minutes or whatever, and then I fucking hung up and just walked past him and walked back inside. He's like, well, you're not even going to say anything? I'm like, dude, we're done. Like, that wasn't a fucking joke. You're fucking awful. I don't want to be friends with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was pretty creepy, dude. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that is a little
I think he had actually moved away and then tried to claim that he's like, dude, I came all the way back down here to see you. And I'm like, you didn't come down here to see me. You're doing this because you happen to be back in town. Yeah, you didn't make this trip just to see me. Shut the fuck up.
Even then, did you fucking call or contact me first? Because I told you not to fucking call.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That had nothing to do with me. You went and did this all on your own, knowing that I have no interest in hanging out with you anymore. So don't fucking think I'm gonna give a shit.
Oh man! And that dude actually ended up marrying the ex-wife of another friend of ours, dude.
Oh well, that stuff, you know, that's like dating and all that stuff sort of tends to go in those little circles where, like, you know, some girl like date every guy in a group of friends.
Yeah, but they're actually married. Like, he married an ex-wife of the guy. Although they're both pretty horrible, so they're kind of perfect for each other. Yeah, it is kind of like my own sister and her husband are fucking awful people, but they're probably perfect for each other.
Yeah,
you know, and they're fucking both miserable fucking narcissists or whatever. They kind of perfect for each other.
Hey, you know, as long as I don't have to deal with them, fucking great.
Right. Yeah, no, I avoid them whenever possible, which is almost all the time, so it works out nicely.
Yeah. No, sounds like the one of the people my mom was trying to help get rescued was like a pregnant lady with like an elderly relative that they were trying to get out. And one of her neighbors hijacked the rescue who didn't need it.
Oh, wow.
They basically just like jumped in the boat and got it going before she and the elderly person could get on the boat and just took it off.
Fucked up, dude.
Yep.
Jeez. I wish you could get arrested for doing something like that. That should be like against the law, dude.
Well, I mean, at that point, how do you?
Yeah, it's tough to say.
Parse it out, you know. It'd just be so hard to figure out a way to set it up so that it wouldn't be gratuitous, you know.
Right.
Where then the same kind of people who would hijack the rescue could then try to get people put in jail, you know.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it'd be tough, but they should, something like that. I'd understand if there were vigilante gangs just beating people up. Although, again, that could go very sideways as well. Hey, this elderly lady died because you couldn't wait to be rescued, even though you didn't really need to be rescued. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. You know, or they could have at least waited for the next boat. Like it was like a couple of perfectly fine, healthy people that didn't have like a pregnancy and an elderly person to
elderly.
care for.
Yeah.
And so she ended up basically having to
Awful.
walk out.
Wow. Yeesh. Pretty sad, man.
It's a shitty fucking way to do it. Yep.
Yeah. What is wrong with people?
Well, and just your friend there made me think of that. I'm just like, I bet that's the kind of thing that dude would do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really amazing how. Yeah. Because I was friends with him for a while. I guess it just, well, when you're fucking constantly just drinking and smoking weed and doing that shit, stuff like that doesn't really come up. You know what I mean? You don't notice how awful people are until, you're actually put in a position to show
you're part
their
of a
true colors
minority
or whatever.
too. So, it's harder to find people to hang out with that want to do that.
Right.
When you're doing a lot of drugs, it's like your group is limited options.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, not in this town.
Oh, well, then never mind.
This town's full of that, dude. Yeah. Although it is tough if you're once meth started going here, and it really started going like in my late teens, so like 20 years ago. Yeah, that made it tougher because I literally never did it. I'm probably the only person in this entire county that has under the age of like 50 that has never used meth.
Oh wow, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. So I mean, all my friends at one point or another were in that shit, and if you're not tweaking, you can't really hang out with tweakers, dude. You just can't.
I would think at a point it would be dangerous, man.
Yeah. No, I've definitely been in some situations
at the drop of a hat.
Yeah. No, I've been in some situations where I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here because I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I
especially if you're refusing, like I refuse to use meth, and you're surrounded by tweakers who want you to fucking use it, and I'm like, look, dude, I'm not a fucking narc. I'll smoke as much weed as you want me to, but I'm not using meth.
Yeah.
So those are scary environments at 2 or 3 in the morning.
I mean, at least with cocaine, they just want to fucking start a business or a band. They don't want to fucking
right.
Go off and rob a bank or some crazy shit.
Yeah, the delusions of grandeur of how they're gonna fucking make this happen. But no, it's more like you're a fucking cop, and yeah, it's that stuff. When I look back on the times when I was naive and I didn't understand that these people were just paranoid and high on fucking meth. Like we were out at a fucking hotel and hanging out with these other guys, and they're like outside the hotel, like across the parking lot, maybe about 50 feet away, there was like this grove of like trees or really high bushes or whatever, and they were talking shit to the bushes. Like there was a bunch of cops in the bushes. And I was like, oh, really? The cops are hanging out in the bushes? Like, that was me. I didn't realize that they were just being paranoid and high.
It's fucking hilarious. They're talking.
It really is, dude. Looking back on it, I'm like, holy shit, how did I not realize? Like, oh, shit, there's cops hanging out in there. Really? You guys seen them? All right, I better behave myself, I guess. Well, these cops in the bushes.
I think meth would be like, pardon me as I'm moving closer and further away from the mic. I think meth might be the only thing I would think that probably maybe shouldn't be legalized.
Yeah, that one's a tough one because it's got to be incredibly addictive, just based on the fact.
The number of clients I work with in mental health who had their first psychotic break, they probably would have had it eventually no matter what, but it probably wouldn't have been as bad without meth. Mm-hmm. But there's also a fair number of people who I've worked with who probably would be fine if they hadn't done that.
Right.
They just did so much meth that they're fucking crazy now.
Yeah, meth-induced psychosis.
Yeah, they just smoke their fucking brain out.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of people that have get to the point where even like they haven't used in years and they're still hearing shit and still hallucinating. Like apparently that happens, dude.
They get schizophrenia. It basically makes them schizophrenic. Yeah, it does happen. I've worked with plenty of clients who either had a psychotic break because of the meth use, or smoked to the point where they were crazy.
Yeah. I wonder what the determining factor of that is. Like, how does it happen to some people and not to others? Like, my ex has obviously been doing it for a long time, and she's a little crazy, but she can still maintain and fucking, pretend to be normal.
Nobody knows. If you could figure out a fucking test that people could take to figure out, like, hey, if you use meth, you're going to go fucking nuts. You make a lot of money.
Right.
There's a lot of people that
like, you'll be okay. Your life will be shitty, but you're not going to actually lose your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
You, however, should not do it because you're going to go crazy within 4 years.
Yeah, you could exactly. You could fucking make a ton of money off of a test like that. People would love it. Why?
So weird, man.
Well, and the other thing is there's some research that there are microviruses that can infect the brain and are present in schizophrenics. So it may be some sort of virus that's like a genetic virus or something. It's like the weird shit. There's all sorts of crazy fucking theories that people are working on trying to figure out what makes people schizophrenic, because you figure out what it is that makes them that way. You might be able to either stop it from happening, reverse some of the effects. There's a lot of shit you could do.
Right. Yeah, because that seems awful. Being schizophrenic just seems like a fucking horrible existence, dude.
Yeah, no, I would never want to be in that situation. That would be terrible.
Yeah.
I've had it explained to me by people firsthand who dealt with the worst of the worst fucking symptoms, and god, like,
because they're basically having like, and maybe this isn't correct, but they're actually having like some auditory hallucinations and that kind of shit. Is that right or not?
So auditory hallucinations are extremely common.
Okay.
In schizophrenics, it's auditory and delusional thinking and weird fixations and obsessions are fairly common. Full-on visual manifestations are not as common, but they do happen. I have worked with people that actually see shit and hear shit, which is a real rare combo.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember seeing stuff like because I took like a year of psychology, and they would ask the guy a question, and like the first sentence would be kind of on point, but every sentence thereafter got further and further away to where it didn't really have anything to do with the original question, really quickly.
Well, if you get the right combination of medications to compensate, we call it compensating,
right.
then it makes a huge difference in how well somebody can function. But a lot of times, especially with schizophrenia, there's so many medications that have to be used in like the right cocktail.
Yeah, you got to find the right ones and the right combination of ones. Yeah,
and the side effects are god awful. Like they're just really unpleasant side effects, really shitty side effects.
God damn.
And so a lot of times they don't even want to stay on them.
It's like the side effects or the cure is worse than the disease almost.
Yeah, and a lot of the hallucinations will tell them to stop taking the meds if the meds are poison.
Wow.
So it's just like a double whammy, triple whammy kind of thing that happens to a lot of folks.
Yeah.
On the other side of it, some people's auditory hallucinations just tell them like jokes and tell them that they're awesome.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be so bad.
I mean, it's
probably still a little distracting, but
exactly. And they have delusions of grandeur, like how they're like going to rule the world and shit.
Right.
Like, nope, you're not that awesome, buddy. Sorry. The voices are lying to you.
Don't read the Kurt Vonnegut books, dude. Don't read the one where he talks about how you're just the center of the universe and everything around you is made up, and just to see how you'll react to it.
Oh, they don't need to read it. They live it.
But if they actually read it, they're like, like normally a normal person would be like, yeah, that's kind of funny. And then they'd read it and be like, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Yeah, that probably. It would just confirm their belief.
Right. God damn, dude.
Oh, that's a riot.
I remember thinking that as a kid, though. No, well, not. I should preface that. Not actually believing that I was the center of anything like that, but like not knowing, like how I can't read other people's minds and I can't tell what other people are thinking. Like, how do I know everything else is real? Like, I had these thoughts when I'm like 7 or 8 years old, dude.
Oh yeah.
Is that fucking weird or what?
No, I think everybody does, man. I have those thoughts once in a while.
Yeah.
Where you just have like a surreal conversation or interaction, and you're like, man, what the fuck is going on, man?
Is this some kind of glitch in the Matrix? Yeah.
Well, I think as people age, and it also happens to some people when they're younger too, you get moments that are just probably really similar to other moments in some way.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's not like deja vu. It's not what I'm trying to describe. I'm thinking just like somehow the circumstances or like a set of words are like identical to something that already happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a different result before, and now it has this different result now than it did before. And so it's a weird sort of disjarring kind of like fucking mind for a second.
Yeah, I'm like, holy shit, I think this already happened. I feel like this has already happened. And it like freaks you out for a minute. You're like, am I?
Yeah. But it already happened. It didn't go this way the last time. Now it's going this other way. I don't know how to fucking handle it. It's fucking my head.
Yeah, it never like freaks me out when it happens, but I'm just like, like what the fuck is? Yeah. Like I don't get scared or anything, but I'm just like, it's weird that I feel like that is a replay of something that already happened.
Yeah, I think to a lesser extent, a lot of times when you've seen enough TV and movies, and then you see basically what they're setting up for with this TV show or this new movie.
Right.
Sort of a similar thing, and then the movie takes a side turn, and you're like, "Oh shit, that was cool."
Yeah, I love it when I can't figure shit out, dude. It rarely happens though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I took my son to see the It movie. The new It movie.
What was it? Steven Crowder tore that apart, and I was just like, Steven Crowder, you already admitted you didn't like the first one, so what fucking point is there in reviewing the remake?
Yeah, actually, you know what's odd? I never saw the original one.
I saw it. I saw it when I was a little kid.
Yeah, I never saw it, dude. My son had seen it somehow. Yeah, my son had seen that one, and he saw the new one. Yeah, I actually liked it, man. I thought it was a good movie. It definitely had some creepy shit in it.
I want to see it again, but part of me, because when I was a little kid, like I don't get scared of movies now. Like they just don't. There's no horror movies that's gonna make me afraid. Except for 23. 23 kind of messed with me a little bit. I couldn't watch the end of it.
That's started to get a little
too. Yeah, it started to get a little too weird, man.
I haven't seen that. I know the premise generally, but I've never seen it.
It just started to get a little too like fucking frenetic.
Oh, gotcha.
That makes sense. Where just like it just wasn't. There's too many things going on, and it was like, is he going to kill his wife? Is he going to kill his kid? Like I feel like this is going to happen, and I don't want to watch that. And I feel really because that's the kind of thing. It's not the tension of it because I know it's going to make me feel sick if it does happen because I don't want to see that. That's just not something that I find entertaining.
Right.
Like a dad killing their own family. That's really gross.
Yeah.
So the tension of not knowing if that's going to be the case is just too much. I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, and they're actually splitting it up because apparently, I guess in the original, there's a separate when they're kids, and then they do a thing when they're adults, right?
So they're going to separate into two movies?
Yeah, this is exclusively the kids.
Yeah, in the original, it shows up every 27 years. This is not a spoiler. The movie's been out for fucking a long time.
They talk about it in this movie too. So they just don't actually do. They're going to do a part 2 with them as adults, I guess.
Yeah. So essentially, as kids, they deal with it, and they manage to survive. But I think one of their friends gets taken, and so as adults, they decide to go after it.
Okay.
And then that's the second part is them basically trying to like stop it.
Like actually finish it off for good.
Yeah, essentially. And it's just like it's a crazy, like it kind of goes a little bit horror in the beginning and a little more adventure in the end, horror adventure.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked it, man. I actually really liked it. Like there's parts that actually legitimately creep me out. Like there's nothing that creeps me out more than something that's goofy and homicidally insane at the same time. That kind of shit fucks with me. So when you have a fucking insane clown type thing, dude, it's just, there are some weird parts, dude.
So where I used to live when I was a kid was right next to a fairground. And me and my friend went and watched it when we were in like maybe second grade.
Oh, wow.
And it didn't really bother me, except when we went to the fairgrounds the next day to go hang out, because we would just go fucking sneak under the fence and check and hang out because it was empty most of the time.
Right.
And we could just go fucking wander these fairgrounds. But some sort of event was going on. And some motherfucking clown was hanging out on one of the park benches with balloons to hand out like balloons and make balloon animals for kids.
Oh, wow.
Who looked exactly like fucking Pennywise.
God damn, dude.
100% fucking that was the clown he was dressed as. And because it's a classic clown outfit, not because he knew he was dressing like the horror movie. But he looked up and he's like, "Hey kids, can I do something? Yeah, can I give you this?" And we just fucking screamed and ran. Like, it's real. So
I think that's one of the things that is creepy about it is they made him look like a normal clown, dude.
Yeah.
And then he's fucking talking all goofy, but the shit he's saying is just goddamn fucking terrifying, you know? Yeah. It's good. I liked it, dude. I did.
I rarely go see movies in theaters. I just don't like to waste the money anymore. But if it's a good enough movie, and I've heard from enough sources that it's a pretty good one, I should probably go see it.
Yeah. I like I said, I never saw the original, so I don't have any hang-ups about that. But my son did, and he still really liked this. So.
Oh, from people who liked it. Like when I was talking about Steven Crowder reviewing it, I was making fun of Steven Crowder because he didn't like the first one. So why did he review the second?
Yeah, that is pretty ridiculous. Yeah,
fucking dummy. You didn't like the first one. You're gonna like the second one. Your opinion doesn't fucking matter to me now.
Yeah, Crowder's pretty fucking. I don't know. I stopped following him a while ago. Just I can't take his fucking. Like he's good on a lot of shit, but if it has anything to do with fucking religion, especially, he fucking has no common sense, dude. Common sense and anything approaching impartiality is impossible, dude.
Yeah, he has a real disconnect with religion.
Yeah.
I try to look at as many different sides as I can to a story. So like I'll listen to like a leftist, real lefty kind of person talk about stuff, and I'll listen to a real righty kind of person. Right. And I always figure, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. I don't do enough of that, to be honest with you. I gotta work on that. But it's sometimes really hard to put stuff, dude.
Well, right now it's so extreme that a lot of the people who are actual lefties, like David Rubin and Sargon of Akkad, are basically considered right wing.
Yeah, that's true.
So
they have to call themselves classic liberals.
Yeah, essentially you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. It's almost at this point better to just say you don't have an ideology and like you just have opinions on shit.
Yeah, exactly. I try not to be like one party or another party.
Yeah.
Like I registered as Republican just because I can't do Democrat right now. But and the independents, they put Gary Johnson up and he was a fucking dummy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the one time when they had an actual real solid chance of doing something and they picked that fucking...
They should have fucking run Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders should have gone independent because he was an independent.
Right.
I don't know what possessed him to think that he was going to do well with the Democrats. That was dumb.
Yeah, he should have known it was so stacked against him. Yeah.
And apparently
already given to Hillary.
Fraud, and it doesn't matter anyway. So it's like...
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess apparently he had always, even if he was an independent, he had always caucused with the Democrats, anytime they had a caucus in the state or wherever, but still, this was not the time to do it. Hillary was all but guaranteed the nomination and fucking almost guaranteed the presidency, dude. It felt like it's such an entitlement, dude.
Yeah.
I deserve this. And like, fuck you. You don't deserve shit. But yeah, I think he really could have had a chance to win if Bernie had ran in as an independent. Because again, most of the Trump votes were protests. Were not just anybody but Hillary votes, dude.
Yeah, Trump won. I think Trump won because he was actually being pretty fucking like he had. So there were like all these bombastic, really crazy things he talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, he was being relatively fucking like realistic when he was talking about stuff.
Yeah, he just did it in kind of an over-the-top fashion, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So his behavior was over the top, but the things he were talking about were really sort of like, yeah, that makes sense. Just common sense kind of things.
Yeah. No, he knew what he was doing, man. I'm convinced that he is actually a really calculating guy, dude.
Well, look what he did with DACA. That was a fucking
Right?
brilliant move, man.
Yeah,
Throw
yeah,
DACA back to Congress, essentially doing what Obama fucking didn't do, and undoing Obama's basically disregard for the Constitution and the separation of the three branches of government.
yeah.
You know, he was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to just
Yeah, he didn't even try to
I'm
work
going
with
to
him.
say, you know what? If you guys want to do something about it, do something about it. I'm not. This isn't for me to do.
Right.
But
unless you
can't
guys
stand.
can't do it, then I'll come back and do some shit.
Well, but it can't stand on its own. It needs to be
Right.
dealt with.
Right. It needs to be
This is what
legislated.
you guys are supposed to be taking care of. This should never have been a presidential act.
Right.
And then I know everybody hates Joseph Arpaio, but he made the right move pardoning him because it was a smack to the judicial branch that was well needed. Because first and foremost,
Arpaio's not nearly as bad as he's portrayed to be. Like he's not perfect. He definitely skirts the line when he was in there, and he's out now, obviously. But yeah, he skirts the line. But he mostly, for the most part, was just
well, here's the thing with
being
Arpaio.
law.
So the more you look into it, the more crazy his whole situation was. So the court was ordering him, had just arbitrarily ordered him to stop enforcing certain laws. They don't have that authority.
Right.
The court doesn't decide what laws the police enforce. The court has no control over that. They are arbiters of law. Was it broken or not? That's their fucking thing.
Yeah.
That's their own authority.
Yeah, they're supposed to interpret it, not decide that laws aren't.
They're not even supposed to interpret it.
Yeah, well, what I mean is they're not supposed to
just
disregard shit like that, you know?
They're supposed to adjudicate, which means they determine, was it broken or was it not broken? At no point should they be interpreting the law. That's not their job.
Yeah, I guess that's what I meant. That's
Congress wrote the law and wrote the words that they wanted the law to have. So for the judge to come in and be like, well, I think this word means something else, is not acceptable. They're just supposed to determine if it was broken or not. Lawyers are supposed to participate, and they're the ones that can kind of say, well, maybe the law means this, maybe the law means that. It has, this leeway here. And that's when the judge can make a decision, because the lawyers are the ones who are interpreting the law, essentially. But they had ordered Joseph Arpaio to stop enforcing immigration laws.
Yeah,
which really
laws that are
actually their authority.
Yeah, laws that are actually legislated into being, voted on.
Well, and he's part of the executive branch. He's not under their command. Number two, it's not for them to decide which laws are enforced or not enforced. It's just not up to them. That's the executive branch's authority. And so then when they decided that they were going to hold him in contempt for disregarding an order they had no right to give in the first place, without allowing them to have a trial or a jury trial, it was just complete nonsense. And so whether he did anything wrong or not completely doesn't matter at that point, because the judicial branch has gotten so far out of hand that somebody, and in this case, the president used his ability to pardon as a check on the judicial branch to say, like, hey, back off.
You guys are overstepping. You guys are doing shit you should not be doing.
Yeah, exactly. This is my wheelhouse. You're stepping into my fucking zone of authority. This is my guy. I tell him what to do. You don't.
Yeah.
And that was a good use of it, I thought.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are like, oh, it was a concentration camp. I'm like, really? Where were the fucking ovens?
Yeah, no, the smear job they pulled on him to fucking avoid him getting reelected was pretty intense, dude. And the guy that replaced him refers to illegal aliens as guests, our guests.
See, yeah, and that kind of shit needs to stop, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not guests. They're not supposed to be here, and they need to go back. And the majority of people in this country want them to go at this point.
Yeah, even, dude, Mexicans that are here legally do not like illegal aliens, dude.
Yeah. Well, they fuck up the whole economy, man, and they make them look bad.
Right.
You know? Here they are doing like what they're supposed to do. They follow the thing. They come here. They get jobs. They work hard. They're good, solid Americans. I'm proud to call them my brother. And then you get these assholes that come in and break laws and take fucking welfare. Like, our states, both our states, Arizona and California, give welfare to illegal aliens.
Right.
Like, you broke the law to come over here, and now we're just free fucking.
I find that amazing, dude. That they're here illegally, but they can somehow manage to register and receive benefits, dude. It's fucking amazing to me. Yeah.
Good night, Garrett. Thank you for joining us, at least for a little bit there, man.
Oh, shit, I didn't even see Carrot join. God damn it. I'm sorry, Carrot. Be well.
But yeah, that whole thing was such a ridiculous situation and drove me nuts because there's all these people like lying about it, like, oh, he's fucking hanging people and he's cuffing up women who are trying to give birth. And I'm like, really? Because that's pretty against the law. And I bet you the fucking guards would have turned him in if that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You want me to believe that a fucking prison full of guards were like, yeah, he's fucking killing babies. No big deal.
Right.
You think that's going to happen? No fucking way.
Yeah. I don't know why this kind of jogged my memory here, but have you ever seen the documentary Winter on Fire about the Ukraine?
No.
Do you have Netflix?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it's on Netflix. It's called Winter of Fire. The Ukrainian something here. Let me look it up again. Winter on Fire. Ukrainians fight for freedom. We're basically in the Ukraine back in I can't remember how long ago, but basically they had elected this president. Well, he had stolen the election, first of all, and it got invalidated. But then the guy came back years later and apparently actually did get elected, but he had promised that he would join the EU and not join with Russia, which is the reason they kicked him out the first time, or, felt there was something up because he wanted to go and join with Russia, and most of the people wanted to join with the EU. So he got elected saying that, I'm totally going to join the EU, and then immediately fucking fucked out on that and was trying to join with Russia. And then they got a huge amount of people ended up like protesting it. And the cops, or I don't know what they call them, but they're essentially like guards or cops or whatever, ended up like killing motherfuckers that were just peacefully protesting, like beating them. And at first just beating them and shooting them with rubber bullets. But it got to the point where they were using live ammunition and fucking sniping motherfuckers.
Well, it gets to a point where their lives are at risk. I mean, the thing says it went from a demonstration to a full-fledged civil war.
Yeah.
So, at a certain point, how many people are there, and are they going to kill me? And I got to shoot first. It starts to kind of creep into the monkey.
Yeah, but no, watch it if you get a chance, because for the most part, they were
justified. I'm not saying it was justified. I'm just saying like that's the monkey brain kind of starts to take over at a certain point.
Right. Yeah.
It's sideways real fucking quick, especially when there's a big crowd of angry people involved.
Right. But yeah, this one was a little different because they were basically like doing it peacefully, and they wanted to peacefully march over to the parliament, or they wanted to march over to this.
Tiananmen Square then.
Yeah, and they were getting stopped, and they were getting turned back, and they were like, it does appear like, especially early on, they were actually having people go in as agitators to attack the cops. Like the cops sent in agitators to pretend to attack the cops, so that gave the cops the right to attack everybody.
Yeah, sort of like they did with the 1% protests here.
Yeah,
where the FBI and the fucking NSA and shit were putting in people to make it look like the protests were getting violent.
Yeah. But it was actually hard to watch. Like, if I didn't know that it actually turned out well, I don't know that I could have gotten through the whole thing.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm sure people still fucking died. It's not.
Oh yeah, no, there was definitely people that died, dude. No, but I mean the fact that they actually got the guy to resign and all that shit. If I didn't know that ahead of time, I don't know if I could have made it through it, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean,
because it's really fucking sad, dude.
The thing with Trump is he's such a divisive figure. I don't think he'd still be in office if he wasn't so hell-bent on doing exactly what he fucking said he would.
Right.
Because it's keeping everybody that voted for him like, all right, you know what? He's still trying. They're trying to stop him from doing what we want, but he keeps working at it. He'll get there. And he's getting us some of the stuff, and he's working it.
Yeah, he's definitely trying. And yeah, turning the DACA back to the legislation is exactly what should have happened. They're out. Again, the leftists want to get all fucking pissed off and saying he hates, illegals or whatever. But dude, that never should have been in place. Like you said, it should have never been in place in the first place. maybe if Obama tried to work with the Republicans, maybe nothing would have happened. Maybe it wouldn't have worked anyway.
It would have been the will of the people that it didn't, though. That's the point. The Congress is supposed to represent us.
Right.
I mean, they don't necessarily represent us at this point, but I think it's become pretty clear that us is real fucking displeased and not real likely to put up with them not doing it for much longer.
Right, right.
And so they're starting
I think more Trump-like people are going to keep getting elected. People that are like, this is enough of this bullshit. This is enough of the corporate people running things. This is enough of, shitting on the immigration stuff. People are getting fed up with it, man.
Yeah, or disregarding our laws, essentially.
Yeah. Just being like, no, I don't like that, so I don't want to obey that law because I don't like it. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Changing it, they're just going to
protect our interests as citizens. It's not there just to be mean or cruel. They're there because we want them there because it protects our country and protects our economy.
Yeah. And there's really no fucking country out there that has laws like these people think that we should have, dude.
Oh man, yeah, like the voting, for instance, like with the voting IDs. If you go to Mexico, you have to not only ID yourself, but you got to sign some forms and shit to vote.
Yeah,
like saying you are you, and if you fucking try to cheat on that, you can get a lot of trouble.
Right. Yeah, I never understood why people had a real problem with that. Like, you don't have an ID? How do you not have an ID?
Yeah.
It's real fucking easy. Well, even if you don't have a license, you can get an ID pretty fucking easy, dude.
Well, even the clients I work with, like severely mentally ill clients, they have ID.
Right. They manage to fucking get it done.
So if the guy who hears fucking voices all day long and can't functionally work or keep a job for any length of time can figure out how to get an ID, Joe Blow, who doesn't make a lot of money, can get a fucking ID. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
I don't understand how they made that a racist thing.
Well, and then and the whole point of it is we don't want elections rigged. We don't want dead people voting. We don't want illegals voting. And we don't want people who don't exist voting.
Right. Did you see the thing on Chicago? I never really followed up on that, but apparently more people voted than are actually registered or some crazy shit like that.
It's insane. So that, and then it just goes to demonstrate why all these Democrats were like, well, Trump shouldn't be investigating anything with the votes. It should all be about Russia, because they don't want Trump to uncover all the fraud. The voting fraud, and it goes on very much in leftist areas where they're potentially encouraging illegals to vote under dead people's registration.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing how. Yeah, the whole machine. Did I talk to you about the hacking democracy thing before? I think I told you about that.
Did you see the Project Veritas videos?
I don't think I have.
They had people way up in the Democratic Party, like the DNC, like people who literally were talking about hiring, tons of people to drive all these illegals in like vans and stuff, because they can do that, and it doesn't. It's not as easy to track that as it is to track buses like they used to do.
Oh, okay, I got you.
A bunch of volunteers to, take $20 a pop to pay for gas, and they'll go drive illegals from place to place to place, and the illegals will just vote under dead people's registration in all these different places and vote Democrat.
Wow.
And that's a standard practice. And these were people way up in the fucking chain at the DNC, the Democratic National Convention.
Yeah, it's so depressing. You know what I kind of figure? I'm like, okay, because you can fuck with the, you can easily fuck with the computer shit, like even the memory cards in the computers. Like, it's easy to fuck with it and change shit. And you can make it a zero-sum thing where, okay, the same amount of votes still register, but you actually took a 5,000 from this person and gave it to the other person. So the grand totals are still the same. It just looks like, more people voted for this person and then actually did. Less people voted for this person than actually did. I wonder if they did rig it.
Interested,
but Hillary was so fucking underwhelming and was so few people actually voted for her that she still lost.
My guess would be anywhere that it was rigged was probably already likely to vote for Hillary. But my guess would be that more often than not, that kind of rigging is probably more done on a local scale. So you're talking about state Congress,
right?
More than you're talking about like presidential elections and Congress people going to the federal level.
Gotcha.
Whereas like maybe on a state level they're tipping the balance and gerrymandering a little more in order to keep the state left government. You know what I mean? Like so that the government's not being.
It's kind of what they do here. Like they've gerrymandered it. Well, it's kind of the other way. Like the Democratic district, like where I live is generally, or has been in the past, has generally been Democratic. We're actually in the same district as Northern Arizona. You know, like it's weird. We're in the same district and we're not really physically connected, but we're all in the same district.
That kind of shit in order to like keep
gerrymandering shouldn't exist, dude. I don't know why gerrymandering is allowed, dude.
It shouldn't be. It really needs to. Like, there's a lot of stuff that really needs to be cleaned up as far as the way the government is allowed to run. Because I'm wondering,
how are you allowed? Just because you happen to be in power at that time, you can actually say, okay, here's the opposition one here and over here. So let's make that one district, and now, you know, they might have been actually make noise in these other districts. We'll have them all concentrated with this little area in this district, and we'll have all the rest of the districts. Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous, man. Yeah, like I said, we're fucking 500, or what is it? I don't know, a couple hundred miles away from northern Arizona, but somehow we're still in the same district.
Yeah, exactly. It's same kind of shit happens in California. Because California is probably only about 60% Democrat. It's not as overwhelming as they'd like you to think.
Right.
But by careful gerrymandering, it's like 75% of the vote ends up looking like it's for Democrats because the way they've set up the counties and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The district.
Make sure that it gets They concentrate them into less and less districts, and then more and more districts are going to be Democratic, so it's even more overwhelmingly Democratic. Yeah. I'd like them to see
limit the number of districts that have any chance of being Republican, so that the whole government is Democrats.
Yeah. But I'd really like them to see. I'd like to see them. Essentially keep the same amount of people in the House of Representatives and that, but combine districts where like what used to be 4 separate districts or 6 separate districts is one district, and then the top 6 people that get votes from that bigger district are the ones that get in. It seems like it would be more representative that way.
Yeah, no, I agree. You were talking about that before, and I think that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
On both federal and state level.
Yeah.
Just let the whole state vote. Stop having districts. Let the whole state vote for all the parts.
Or just bigger districts or the whole state. But I think if you're doing the whole state and you have as many representatives or as many districts as like California has, that's a little crazy. So you might want to break it in.
No, then you get like whatever it is, the top people with the votes get in. I honestly think that would make more sense.
Yeah, but if you're voting on a state level, for how many people in the House of Representatives come from California? It's like
I don't know. It's probably like 30.
No, I think it's more than that. I think it's almost 60, dude. Yeah, so you can't, if you're going to vote for and the top 60 get in on a whole statewide level, I think that's too much, dude. I think it still needs to be districts, just much bigger districts. Because, if you're going to vote.
We only have 53, man.
Okay, well, whatever, dude. It's a lot more than 30. I said almost 60. It's closer to 60 than it is to 30, bitch.
Yeah, I know you were way closer. No, I understand what you're saying, but I still think that if they're going to represent the state, then the whole state should get to vote for them.
Yeah, it would definitely be better than what we're representing now. Either way,
all 53 represent me. It's not like I get to choose which ones represent me in Congress. They all 53 are from my state.
Yeah, but then if there's 53 that get elected, how many people are running? And
here's the thing.
Many, that's too much.
Here's the thing now. No, here's the thing. And I think if 53 people were being voted on, it would be so much harder to control it with money. You know what I'm saying? It would be so much more difficult because it'd be so much more chaos.
Yeah.
It would be virtually impossible to control that kind of election because there's so many people all at the same time. There'd be no way for
it almost has to overwhelm the establishment with numbers.
Yeah,
like,
essentially.
Try corrupting all of this, motherfuckers.
It would be too difficult. It's like if they would institute, 8-year, like you could hold no office for longer than 8 years, regardless of the office. Nice. You can't be a representative for more than 8 years. You can't be a senator for more than 8. You can't be president for more than 8. Mayor, governor, all of it.
Yeah, or maybe 2 terms would be probably a better way to do it. Although that would move it to 12 for senators, 6 years, right? A term is 6 years.
Well, the representatives, I think the term is 2.
Yeah, I think representatives is 2, but senators is 6. So I'd say 2 terms would probably be what should be the limit.
Yeah, 6
whatever
years
that happens to be.
I think 8. Honestly, I think 8. I mean, senators' term.
Do you think you should, like, for senators, cut it down to 4?
Drop it to 4. Let's drop it to 4, man. It shouldn't be 6.
Yeah, 6 is a long time, dude. Yeah.
And let's
put 4 is kind of a long time.
Yeah, and let's
forget that lifetime appointment shit, dude.
Yeah, I can understand them not having to be reelected in their lifetime appointment, but you're right. Yeah, at some point you need to fucking.
You hit 60, you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 60, maybe 65, but yeah, 60 is probably a good number.
I figure 60, man. Just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, that's true. And from 60 on, are you really capable of being objective at all? Like, I think your brain's pretty locked in at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you figure from 30 to 60, that's 30 years. That's more than enough time for anybody. You make it, the minimum age is 30, the maximum age is 60. That's a total of 30 years they could potentially serve. And that's more than anybody needs to serve.
Yeah, the lifetime appointment thing is, ridiculous. They should have forced retirement like everyone else.
I say you get till you're 60 or after you've worked 20 years.
Yeah.
And then they get like a retirement. They get a retirement settlement that's, like a fairly decent retirement kind of thing.
Right.
Or they could, go work somewhere else and like a lawyer, whatever they want to do. But, especially for like the Supreme Court justices, I mean, I've seen video of them flat out falling asleep in the middle of cases. There's no reason for those people to be in charge of like whether the Constitution is being observed. If you can't stay awake through the whole fucking hearing, you can't fucking decide at the end.
Yeah. If you're too old to stay awake for something, if something's going to the Supreme Court, it's usually pretty important, generally speaking. So yeah, if you're falling asleep, dude, you need to get the fuck out.
Yeah, but we need something to. I'm not sure how you address the bench side legislation that they keep doing. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't making political rulings that have nothing to do with the law. It's like you're completely ignoring the law. We can't allow that. That has to stop.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what are you going to legislate some more legislation that they're just going to keep ignoring? Like,
well, here's
you know what I mean.
If they're not going to follow the law and we can't vote them out, eventually we just have to kill them.
Well, I mean, plenty of judges, at least on the other than the Supreme Court, most other judges are elected, right?
No judges.
Oh, really? Elected.
I don't.
They are here.
Are judges elected? I thought they were all appointed by like city or state government.
No. I mean, that may be true in some districts, but there's plenty of districts or plenty of areas where the judges are voted on.
If they're elected, that's
the judges are reelected.
Figure out some way to. Let's see how judges are selected. Federal judges.
They're appointed, yeah, certainly.
Nominated by the president and confirmed by Congress. So that's for any federal or Supreme Court judge. Those are Article 3 judges. Federal Article 1 judges are appointed by Congress and serve for 10 years, after which they may be reappointed. That's the thing. They need to only be able to be reappointed once.
Yeah, it looks like it says here some states hold retention elections. So if the judge that was appointed, if they want them to continue or not, if they want them to continue being judges.
Well, here it says how state court judges are selected varies by state. States choose judges in any of the following ways. Sometimes it's appointment. The governor or legislature will choose their judges. Merit selection. Judges are chosen by legislative committee based on each potential judge's past performance. Some states hold retention elections to determine if the judge should continue to serve. That's a good idea. That should be available for all the positions, all judges. Partisan elections. Judges selected through partisan elections are voted in by the electorate, and often when it's part of a political party's slate of candidates. Okay, so some of them are voted in.
Yes, I thought so. I'm pretty sure that's the way they do it here. Yeah, actually, my ex had a family member who was running for a judgeship here.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the ones that are elected, I'm fully on board with them being elected, but there need to be term limits. Same as any other position. If they can progress further up the chain, you serve your 2 terms, and then you can run for the next higher seat and try to go for, a federal judge if you're a state judge. No reason you can't do that, but if you can't get elected any higher up or chosen any higher up, then you should have to go back to being a lawyer, man.
Right. Probably make a lot more money anyway.
Yeah. Nobody should be making a career out of working for the government. As part of the government. That's really not what was never supposed to be that case.
Yeah. There should not be career bureaucrats.
Yeah, it should be people serving because they want to serve the rest of the country and do it and make our country good.
Yeah, they want to give back, dude.
Yeah, and that's what we should be getting in the offices is people who love the country enough that they're willing to take 2 to 4 years out of their life to go and serve for 2 to 4 years, and then maybe serve again for another 4 or whatever. Like that's. Yeah.
Even George Washington, dude. I mean, were not term limits. He was just like, yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
And I think it's just FDR. Is he the only one that actually stayed on for more than 2?
Did he?
I think he's the only one.
Well, I think he was the one that was dealing with the Dust Bowl and the crisis and stuff. That might be what was going on.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he's the only one that served more than 2 terms. Yeah, I think in fact after him, I think is when they put in the limits because he was it wasn't fucking
Franklin D.
polio.
Roosevelt, the only president who served 2 terms, more than 2 terms, was Franklin Roosevelt. In 1940, he won the election for his 3rd term. 4 years later, in 1944, he ran again. He became the only president to be elected to a 4th term.
Right.
So Franklin D. Roosevelt actually ran and got 4, 8.
Yeah. Died shortly after. Yeah. Well, he died into the 4th term there, obviously, but yeah. Because Truman took over for him, obviously, and dropped the bombs and shit. But I'm pretty sure it was right after him that they were like, all right, that guy, like if polio didn't stop him, he'd probably still be fucking president.
Yeah, he'd be a king at that point, essentially.
Yeah, like he was way too powerful. So we got to not have that possibility like happen again. So yeah, two terms. That's it. Although I think it does, it kind of restricts your effectiveness if you're dealing with like dictators and people that are, lifetime appointments in other countries. If they know that you're going to be out in, 4 to 8 years or whatever. But still, you got to do it. Overall, the term limits there is the right thing to do.
Well, it's the prevention of the majority of the God damn it, my brain just stopped functioning. The tyranny of the majority.
Right.
You want to avoid the tyranny of the majority because you don't want the majority to be constantly in absolute power, or they'll just the minority will just be fucked.
Yeah,
it'll become absolute tyranny after a certain period of time because
it was the whole reason for the whole reason for the Electoral College, so New York and California wouldn't decide essentially every election.
Well, when they started, it was so New York and Boston wouldn't, but now it's New York and California. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the same premise applies. You don't want the big cities.
Yeah, it's just the bases of power have moved. I was just pointing out because it's like, yeah, at the time it was Boston, and now it's California, and it still applies. Like, notice that it's moved. It hasn't changed.
Yeah. Either way, you don't want the big cities deciding everything. Even though they still have a very high influence, but they don't run shit. Yeah.
Just because you have more people packed into an area doesn't mean that those people should have that much more influence.
Yeah.
Because you're looking for a consensus of a general consensus of what will serve the nation is not going to just be what serves that larger group.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember how they complain about it a lot there, don't they, in California?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, no, we only have one representative for every 475,000, and Montana has one for every 100,000. Like, go to Montana if you want to feel more important, dude.
Yeah.
Move to Montana, buddy.
Well, as much as I like Mike, that's one of the things he just cannot seem to understand.
Oh, really?
College is a real necessity. You have to have it in. You can't just have a straight majority. It'd become tyrannical very, very fast.
Yeah. Well, Mike is too idealistic, in my opinion, dude. I love the guy, but he is too idealistic.
Well, I mean, but you can see what happens from direct voting in Europe.
Right. But I think it just still doesn't register. He just thinks it should be completely exactly representative, which it wouldn't be even if it was like that.
Well,
but,
we've never been a democracy.
Right.
We're not. We're a constitutional republic who hold democratic elections for a representative government.
Right.
We've never been a democracy. That's a lie that people get told when they're little kids.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand. They it's how you
explain. Right. Democratically elected, but the system is actually, like you said.
Yeah. It's a representative, democratically elected representative government.
Right.
And that's really hard to explain to a kid, and then they just never explain it because our education system is fucking garbage.
Yeah, they're just like, just tell them it's a democracy. It's close enough.
Exactly. And so, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of shit that we didn't get told. Like, for example, I don't remember learning in school that Nixon took us off of the gold actually backing our currency.
Yeah, well, one of the reasons Nixon was chased out of office so fast is because he was doing some crazy-ass shit. He did a lot of damage before we finally got him out of office. But he might not have actually done what they said he did in order to get kicked out of office. That never went to trial.
Right.
There may not have been enough evidence to convict him in the first place. He may have actually been innocent. But it just was like, okay, this guy is going way too far. We need to get him out now.
Right. This guy's fucking lost his mind.
Yeah. And then the vice president took the presidency.
Right.
It's just got to be a weird situation. Like, so you're saying the president fucking stole the election, but the vice president still gets to be president now?
Yeah.
It's like, that's what we keep you from basically just deciding you don't like the party in power that won.
Yeah.
If you have a Democrat enough Democrats in the Congress and a Republican that's president, what's to stop him from just taking him and removing him from office? Well, because the vice president will be the one in charge, and then they'll be screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why Trump chose Pence. Like, really? You want this guy?
Yep, pretty much.
This guy to be in charge. Like I said, I think Trump's a lot more calculating and a lot smarter than people give him credit for, dude.
Well, everybody that thinks they're so much smarter than he is, I want to know where their $1 billion is.
Right. Like, okay, his dad was pretty rich, but he turned it into fucking a lot more than what his dad had.
He had a couple $1 million, and he's turned it into $1 billion and more twice.
Right.
He did go bankrupt, and then he built a fortune again.
Right. That's way more impressive to me than if he just stayed rich the whole time, dude. The fact that he went broke and fucking built it back up, to me, is goddamn amazing, dude.
You can't do that if you're a dummy. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
All these people that think he's a moron have no idea what they're talking about. What he is not experienced as a politician.
Yeah.
He's experienced as a businessman, and he's very shrewd, and he's very, very good at it. and he's a very intelligent man, and he's learning how to do the job of the president. But he's only had what, a little less than a year now. I mean, he hasn't even been there a whole year.
Yeah, 8 months basically.
Most of the people who get the president's office have been doing politics for 20, 30 years.
Right.
You know,
and that's the problem at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The extent of his politics is probably bribing somebody to show up at a party or donating a little money to somebody's fund so that his project can be built without all the fucking hassle.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I think he is actually doing a pretty decent job, and I don't understand why people are calling for him to be impeached.
Yeah.
I'm literally like, what did I miss? What is he doing that deserves?
Well, I mean, there were the
to
same
be
things when
impeached?
George Bush Jr. won his second term.
Right.
And I was one of the people on the left doing it. It was just all emotional based. There was no.
Right.
Don't
Yeah, I
get me
didn't
wrong, George Bush Jr.
that.
was a terrible president. But,
Right.
I mean, he was crooked as the day is long, but so was Obama. I mean, it's not about parties here. It's just, you know.
Yeah, I think it took a while for people to realize. I knew Bush was shitty from the beginning, dude. I was just like, how are you voting for this guy? Yeah, but Obama, it took me a while.
But Bush Jr. was so creepy because his dad was president. It's like, now we're going to have fucking dynasties?
Yeah, now we're going to have fucking kingships. Oh, okay, now it's the son's turn to be.
Did he fucking inherit the office or did he win it?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, just people that haven't really accomplished anything. I mean, what the hell did George W. do to deserve to be president besides be his dad's son?
Mm-hmm.
Not much, man. Apparently he lost his fucking dad's friends a bunch of money in the oil business, and fucking, yet he somehow manages to be fucking rich, and then...
He managed to get an oil business to go broke in Texas. That's phenomenal. That's an accomplishment.
That takes some fucking doing, dude. Oh, God. Yeah, although it's the same with Hillary. I mean, Hillary didn't really do much, dude, other than be Bill Clinton's wife. And fucking, when she was in Congress, she really never introduced any legislation or really did anything, dude. She treated
it like what she thought of it as. Was basically just a fucking place marker on her way to be president.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think
the
odds of her winning were so low.
Anything, but I deserve this, and I'm going to deserve to be president too. I'm entitled to it.
And that was her whole attitude. That's why she lost.
Yeah.
They were in that, and I think people were not real interested in another Bush Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, we're going to have dynasties again? Like, now it's like the fucking queen inherits.
Yeah, and it's different. It's almost like the mob. Like, I really do consider the Bush and the Clintons as fucking crime families at this point, dude.
Well, I mean, the really creepy shit was the Bush family and the Bin Laden family were fucking tight.
Yeah.
They were business
Plus,
partners
apparently,
in many, many ways.
Yeah. And, well, dude, and what my doctor guy was telling me is apparently the Bushes and the Clintons have like fucking Thanksgiving together and shit. Like they fucking hang out, like they're that tight, dude.
Well, I mean,
for him, he was like, that's when I realized that like, there's really no difference between these parties.
Trump is a huge fucking stone in the pond, man. He's the first real people's president in a long time, in 20 or 30 years, easily, maybe 40 or 50.
Maybe, yeah. Probably the last one was the last one that got assassinated. Yeah, well, Carter I kind of consider a people's, but he didn't last long either.
But Kennedy wanted to do a lot of stuff that really would have served the people. You know, eliminating the Federal Reserve and actually, you know, taking us back to the gold standard and that kind of thing. Pulling out of Vietnam. I mean, he had a lot of things that he wanted to do that really would have been extremely good for the country and extremely bad for globalism.
Yeah, he wanted to get out of Vietnam. He wanted to fucking disband the CIA. You know, he wanted to get rid of the fucking oil depletion allowance for fucking oil men. Yeah, he was pissing off a lot of people, and that's why I'm thinking like,
with a lot of power. And at that time, there weren't cameras everywhere. Not everybody had cameras, and there was no internet, and it was really easy to set up an assassination.
Right. Yeah. Apparently they were going to try in Tampa and Chicago, but it just didn't turn out right, so they had to end up waiting until Dallas to kill him, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah, nowadays it would be a lot tougher. Although nobody really believed it back then. Like, I don't think there's ever been a majority of people that actually believe that JFK wasn't assassinated as part of a conspiracy, dude.
Yeah.
Even nowadays, with all the propaganda over the years, it's still like 68% of people believe there was a conspiracy, dude.
Yeah. Because there's no way one random dude just happened to have a job there and be like, I think I'll shoot him.
Yeah, and then wasn't proud of it after the fact, the way all fucking people, all assassination people are.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I'm surprised they put him in front of the press at all, dude. I really am.
Well, they needed
so he could actually say, I didn't do this. I like the president.
Well, the guy they were hanging out to dry who probably, didn't really do it in the first place, they needed to fucking have Jack Ruby shoot it.
Right.
I think
but he didn't have to. I don't know that they had to. Is that when he was moving to do the press conference?
Well, that was they needed it to be in front of cameras and show that it wasn't the FBI or the CIA that did it. It was this random mob guy who just was like, you're an evil bastard, so I shot you.
And they have all kinds of connections with the police department and with fucking CIA and all that shit too. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm amazed, dude, that people are not familiar with the. They're familiar with the Warren Commission, but not the House Select Committee on Assassinations.
Yeah.
Their findings where they had to say there was a conspiracy. They couldn't deny the acoustical evidence or any of that shit. But nobody ever talks about that, or nobody in the press or anywhere else. They don't point out that they basically said there was a conspiracy, and then nobody did anything about it.
Yeah, it's totally bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing, and that's what I worry about is like, all right, if he is actually trying to change shit, they're going to kill him.
See, here's the thing, though. Trump is a billionaire. I don't think the Secret Service is his only security by a lot.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain
private security that are really only loyal to him.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he didn't have. Probably even better than the Secret Service, I would be surprised if it wasn't.
At this point, with the internet the way it is, and cameras in everybody's fucking pocket, like high definition cameras in everybody's pocket,
right?
There's no fucking way they would be able to pull it off like that.
Yeah, they still might try. They still might do it anyway, and just figure, hey, we're in charge. We got everything under control. But it would be a lot.
They'd have control for about 5 seconds. They'd have control for about 5 seconds because there would definitely be an uprising.
Right. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious what happened back then, and there was no uprising. Although you're right, with as many fucking camera angles and all that shit that would be out there showing exactly what happened.
But this would be the second time. You can't go back to sleep
with it being so obvious.
Here's the thing. This would be the second time that the people's president was eliminated. So, It didn't happen back then because people were just in such shock. At this point, they'd be like, wait, they fucking got Kennedy too. All right, I'm fucking done. You know what I mean? Like, it's like first Kennedy, now Trump. All right, we're done.
Yeah, like it's obvious that the fucking system is so goddamn corrupt that anybody that tries to change even minor shit is going to get killed.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucking bullshit, dude.
Well, and I also think civil tension at this point is so high that it would be really difficult to control it.
Right. Yeah, it is kind of a powder keg, isn't it?
Yeah, Antifa and like the alt-right and just the general free speech advocates, that are like willing to go out and fight for free speech, like literally fight Antifa in the streets because they're like, no, you don't get to shut us down. We get to have we have our rights. We get to assemble. We get to talk. You don't get to decide what's allowed to be said.
Yeah, I like how the fucking media finally acknowledged how fucking shitty Antifa is.
Well, they started attacking reporters.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, Antifa started attacking reporters. That shit didn't fly. Eventually, you bite the hand that feeds you enough times. Eventually, it stops feeding you.
Right. No, okay. See, I thought it was just the fact that nobody was buying it.
Well, that probably didn't help, but they were also starting to attack random reporters as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking
that and spray painting Democrats get the bullet too at a certain point. Somebody's got to see that and go, maybe they mean it.
Yeah, they're not messing around. They're going to attack us too. This is just who happens to be in power right now, or fucking whatever. But fucking all right. Yeah, that would be interesting if leftists decided to hold a free speech rally. Does Antifa
I
show
think
up?
Antifa would show up and attack them too.
Yeah, most likely. Most likely. Can't have that shit. Fascists talking about free speech.
Well, personally, I think Antifa is in bed with the Islamic terrorist groups, ISIS and stuff like that. I think they
wouldn't be
they're using
surprising.
each other, and that there's funding going to ISIS from a lot of Islamic terror fronts.
Yeah, and apparently Soros is backing a lot of Antifa's shit, dude.
Well, I think he's a big part of it too. Yeah, I think there's
Yeah.
a lot of really creepy connections going on there.
That dude is fucking evil, dude. Like, I think he wants to be like a movie villain, dude.
Well, I mean, they
I think he
got him for
watched a bunch
billions
of
dollars in
movies and
taxes.
shit. Yeah.
They did get him
I
for
missed it,
billions
sir.
of dollars in taxes. Now it's going to see if he actually pays up or not.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
got him. They ruled in favor that he owes I think something like $7 billion in taxes.
Wow.
He just refused to pay.
Jesus, dude.
So I'm wondering if they're gonna if that's Trump's moving to fucking take him out,
Mm.
or to at least fucking cut his balls off, essentially.
Yeah. It would be nice to see someone pay for the fucking bullshit, dude.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, so here's the thing. So the KKK and all these racist organizations, they were never taken down with violence. They were taken out by taking their money through legal actions,
Right.
suing them for petty crimes, serious crimes, all the crimes, personal injury, whatever they could get.
Right.
So and that's how they were. The KKK was essentially neutered. Was they just took all their money to the point where they were basically a joke.
Yeah.
Now they're just a group of dummies that dress up like fucking ghosts. And that's it,
Yeah. I don't understand why anybody's afraid of the KKK at this point, dude.
Oh, because the press.
Like you
The press
said,
is
they're-
driving the race war. There's no race war. The only thing that people are believing there's a race war for is because of the press. It's not real.
Right. Yeah, like I said, they tried to build it up here in Phoenix, and there was nothing that really happened. There was
Well, it's
50 Antifa bitches. One guy caught one in the nuts, and that was basically it, dude.
Yeah.
There was way more people that were just there for the fucking rally.
The country's like a macrocosm of what happened in my high school. I think I told you that story, where essentially like some gangbangers decided to fight the football team.
Yeah,
And then every local radio station decided to call it a race riot because 2 cop cars got called out.
Right. Tried to build it up into something that it totally wasn't.
And so then when I get home, everybody that wasn't there actually thinks it was a race riot, and it wasn't. It had nothing to do with race at all.
Right.
But because my school was brand new and was had a much higher percentage of minorities mixed in with the whites, that was a big sort of hot topic. So it was easy to spin it for
to try to sensationalize it.
Yeah, sensationalize it for more business, essentially, more views, more people listening to your radio station, better ad market.
I wonder if journalism was it always shitty and we just think it was good back in the day, or
so what happened is journalism used to be, like the Wall Street Journal used to be its own company and just make money off of like people that wanted to advertise in their paper.
Right.
And then it got bought out by corporations. So essentially now all the news media is owned by 4 people.
Yeah.
So there are 4 people who own every news outlet. And so basically they're not in the business to give the best news because that's what'll get them the most money and the most people watching. Now they're in the business to sell whatever those people want them to sell, because it's not about whether the individual news company is making money, but whether or not it's pushing an agenda that makes the other companies that these 4 people own more money.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, or just whatever, whatever sells, whatever gets clicks beyond that. You got the political agenda too, but you got also what fucking brings in more money.
The more afraid people are, the more shit they'll buy.
Yeah.
If people are feeling good and they're generally happy and feel like they're successful, then they don't feel the need to like desperately purchase all these things they don't need.
Right.
In order
Try to fill the hole in their soul with fucking material bullshit.
Yeah. If you think the world's gone to hell, you might as well go spend money on a brand new giant TV that you can't afford because fuck it, man.
Yeah. It's keep you happy for 30 minutes or so.
Exactly. Whereas if you're feeling good, like, hey, you know, life's good. Oh, I can't afford that big screen TV, so maybe I should just save up and I'll buy it in a couple of months or in a year when I can, and I'll just deal with what I got for now. Just keep it working.
Yeah. It's sad, the fucking level of consumerism.
Yeah. Well, it's driven by fear. It's driven by the chaos in the news and the media, keeping everybody from really. You know, if you're hanging out with your neighbors, you don't watch as much TV, man. You don't buy as much useless shit.
Yeah, they pretty much want us just home in front of our fucking. Although we got the phones now, pretty much reach us wherever we are. You know, the media can reach us through our phones.
Well, and then how ridiculous, you know? Like I hang out with black people. I'm not afraid of black dudes.
Right.
You know, but suddenly it's like, and black dudes don't need to be afraid of me. I'm a white guy. I'm not gonna fucking beat them up. That's not.
Yeah, he's not fucking a bunch of white people in sheets just waiting around at every fucking corner.
I ain't got no cross nailed together ready to go on their lawn. It's cool.
Yeah.
And
but it really is.
The media's got everybody convinced that that's what's going on.
Yeah, that's why I was like, my social media feed must be from another fucking parallel universe because I don't recognize this world that they're portraying here, dude.
Yeah, it's absurd.
You know, where I live, people get along and they don't really care about fucking what color you are, man.
Well, I mean, it's like it's Antifa and Black Lives Matter don't represent the people. The vast majority of the people are like, you guys are nuts. If they knew what was going on, they'd definitely all agree. But even without everybody knowing what's going on for real, the majority of people are like, these people are out of their minds.
Right. Yeah. Although there is still that inherited / white guilt that I don't understand because I cast it off when I was very young. I'm like, why? I didn't do anything. Just because I happen to have the same skin color as people that did this horrible shit, I'm guilty of that? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me, dude.
Well, I had the experience of my dad being an alcoholic and basically just emotionally being very abusive. You know, I'm useless. You tell me I'm useless and worthless and all this shit. And then when I finally was like starting to get close to getting out of high school, I finally just fucking clicked to me that that was his own fucking personal guilt.
Right.
His own, like he was trying to project it on me. And so when, you know, I look at that kind of thing, you know, after that, you know, anytime I look at that kind of like, oh, well, you know, this slavery happened, it's like, oh, I didn't do anything. So I'm not going to take the projected guilt. That's not, you know, these people are angry about it, projecting it onto me. I'm not in the market for guilt.
Right. Yeah, I just, again, very, very early on, I'm like, that's ridiculous, dude. Like, I didn't do any of that shit, you know?
I think unwarranted guilt is the product of a weak mind in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Weak, insecure,
You're too concerned about people liking you, and you're too willing to accept things as your responsibility that really you didn't have anything to do with.
Right. Yeah, that's what I don't understand about the male allies, like feminists, like, yeah, you're still shit. You can help us out, but you're still a piece of shit. Just remember that. You can't be an actual feminist. You can't actually join the club. You can be an ally for us, and we'll walk all over you. But
must make their dicks hard.
Right.
Probably into the humiliation.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. I never understood that either. Well, again, I don't have any weird kinks like that. Like I don't know. Like people that like to be,
they're weak-minded. They're weak-minded, and they think they're going to get laid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that reminds me. We never covered this, but did you hear about the Joss Whedon shit and his ex-wife?
Yeah, didn't he like cheat on his ex-wife like a ton and all sorts of
like a lot, dude? Yeah, he basically did what you expect nowadays. What you expect a male feminist to do is parrot this feminism shit, then fuck all kinds of chicks behind your wife's back.
Yep.
Like use that to get pussy, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm all surprised.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's surprising how unsurprising that is.
You know, it's not even like a feminist thing. I mean, that's just a rich dude thing. You know, you got this money and this fucking power. What do you use it for?
Right.
To get pussy.
Yeah, that's true, though. He didn't even have to do the feminist bullshit, and he did anyway. Like, he's
I think
rich.
The feminist bullshit was just to fit in with the Hollywood in general. Like, you have to.
Yeah.
If you don't go that line, you're out.
Yeah, that's why I have a lot of respect for anybody that is in that industry that actually speaks out and speaks their mind. I'm like, you guys are fucking incredibly brave, dude.
But the reality is,
Yeah.
Joss Whedon probably just was like, yeah, whatever, feminism, woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Maybe suck harder. Yeah, that's the next line because you know, he had some fucking young fangirl in his room who was sucking his dick, and he's like, "Yeah, daddy like." Down with the patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. Who the hell's Old Hickory? Who the hell's Old Hickory, dude? You know him?
I don't know, but I think he took off.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Old Hickory.
Yeah.
Welcome if you're still there. Right on, man.
Right. Yeah, sorry I missed that when you first commented, but welcome if you're still there, like you said.
If you ran away, it's cool.
Yeah, we understand.
Because you're not there anymore, so it wouldn't fucking matter what we say.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, it says 2 watching, so I assume that's you and me on our...
Yeah, you and me.
As per usual, we usually run everybody off by the time we're done.
Yeah, well, I think we got to finish up here because I got a doctor's appointment in the morning, so I got to get up a little early.
Yeah, it's been almost 3 hours, so yeah. Probably time to call it.
Yeah, I think we're going to call it, man. Anybody who joins us or who listens to the recording, hey, man, thank you for getting this far. I don't know what's wrong with you, but you should probably see a doctor.
See somebody about that. But we appreciate it nonetheless.
We do appreciate it. Tell your friends. Leave us a comment telling us we're pieces of shit or something. And Akinaro, hopefully.
Yeah, somebody comment something.
Yeah, comment something.
Any comments are welcome. Any comments, believe me.
Yeah, really. Just don't link to. Well, never mind. I'm not going to say anything.
Don't, not out loud.
That's just tough. Don't link to and then they're going to all do it. If they do, it'd be brilliant.
Yeah, it's like when you say, "Hey, whatever you do, don't think about a fork right now."
Yeah,
you know. Right.
Don't use any profanity.
Be nice and respectful when you tell us how shitty we are.
There you go. All right. So, Detroit and Skills McSavvy Pants signing off for Untitled Studios.
Bye-bye.